is a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
Go Buccaneers. I like your shirt. That's nice.
Thanks.
Did you get any, Sam did. I got to get new gear for the NFL season. I always get a new hat for the NFL season.
Yeah.
I always get a little something. You know, I noticed that even you, a couple of years ago, I think, you and your wife got matching Dolphins shirt. I'm here for it, man. I liked it when you guys did that. I like it when you show that you're a real, well, even if you're lying, I like it when you pretend to be a real human.
The problem is I'm so tainted by gambling.
Dolphins are going to be good, dude.
Yeah, I know, but it's like the hype is too much.
I know.
Yeah, but it gives you something to
too
look
much
forward
hype.
to. Like,
Man.
look, because I don't have a team that's any good this year, I got like a stress-free season. Just kind of hang out and watch football and have a great time. I don't have to worry about anything because every game is like an expected loss. That's fun.
Well, yeah. I guess it's more stressful having your team almost make the playoffs, or get eliminated round one, because
then you get
most likely, because there's no way Dolphins make it further than that. Anyway, okay, so you did a Weird Job Wednesday song.
I did.
And this kind of falls in the category of Weird Hobby Wednesday, but technically we discussed it before the show. It could be a job.
We'll give it both.
Yeah, because technically, if you are in contests and make money, then it's a profession.
It's a profession. Yeah. Also, these job songs are so fleeting to me that if I don't poop them out immediately, I will never want to play this again.
Yeah. It's now or never.
It's now or never. So here we go. It's a new Weird Job Wednesday song.
What? No money? Yeah.
Big fat slobs, disgusting big fat slobs, and they're working their really weird jobs. But again, you should see these fat slobs. Something to say, how's your job and what are you paid? Most of you can all be replaced as quick as the end of the day. Oh. In this world, there are jobs, and most of them are worked by slobs. In this world, there are jobs, and most of them are worked by slobs. Big fat slobs, big fat slobs, and most of them are all big fat.
There we go.
You kept
Well,
the
I mean,
hello.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't much about their job.
No, it was more about the slobs.
Very catchy, though.
Yeah,
Very
it
catchy.
is. It's a bop, as the chat room says. I was bopping around the room.
Oh.
Like, I love, so fun to just, it's more slob than job. In fact, I'm thinking of changing the show, like this segment's title, into More Slob Than Job.
Okay, a big flat.
Big flat.
Big flat. That's a whole new segment.
That was
Big
a beer
slob
that
would
Walgreens
be-
used to have.
Big flat slobs.
We'd have more contestants. Brought to you by Streamline Mortgage. If you want to refi, if you need a mortgage.
I messed up all the buttons.
that.
Oh, God.
Streamline now in California for anybody who's listening to this in California. And also ask them about reverse mortgages. You got to be over 62.
It's the 69 of mortgages.
Abedium just did one and is going to have his house pay him for life.
Yes.
He's like, screw this. I'm going to have just my house pay me.
Pay me, house.
So Chris is on the line. How you doing, Chris?
Doing good, guys. How y'all doing today?
Good. So what is your weird hobby/job?
I am a YouTube fisherman.
All right.
Dude.
Or sorry, excuse for one.
No,
if
hold
you
on a
want to go that
second.
route.
You have what I'm gonna say it. This dude has what I believe 90% of our male audience wants as a job. Mm-hmm. YouTube fisherman. If I told that to 90% of our audience, as I say, hey, your job is now YouTube fisherman, they're gonna be like, oh my God, I've done it. I have done it.
Well, a lot of our audience can do the fisherman part, but not the YouTube
Correct.
part, which is a lot of work.
Yeah, they just post holding their fish.
It is a
on
lot
social
more work
media.
than I ever planned on it to be.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So, all right, Chris, let's get into how you got into becoming a YouTube fisherman.
Okay, well, the short story on that is my son pushed me into doing it. I've never done any kind of filming. I've never done any kind of production work. I had never edited a single video, anything short of posting on Facebook. That's about all I had ever done. Now, the long on that story is I fished ever since I was a kid. I grew up on a lake here in north central Florida, better part of 30 years of experience. I've fished tournaments all from South Florida all the way up into the Panhandle, Alabama, Georgia. I've even got family in New York. I fished tournaments up there as well. So I kind of got out of it for a while. As my son got older, he decided that he wanted to get into it, and then it kind of snowballed from there. And here I am in extreme amounts of debt and making a fool of myself on the internet every day.
Yeah, but it's cool though. I mean, you're discounting it more than I figured you would. How old's your son, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it is a blast, though. I enjoy every second of it. Don't get me wrong there.
So, Chris.
How old's your boy?
Yeah.
What was that?
How old is your boy?
He just turned 13 on Friday. His actual birthday was Friday. Yep.
All right. Happy birthday. That's awesome.
So Chris, you primarily do freshwater fish, right? Is it bass fishing?
Freshwater fishing, that's mainly what I film, yes. I've spent probably the better part of the last decade, actually, on saltwater. I kind of got out of bass fishing and got more into the saltwater side of things, doing inshore. Got into doing tournaments with that, had a blast, and then just being in my location. I live just south of Ocala, so I'm out in the boondocks out there. So it's just a lot easier for us. I live very close to a couple of different lakes and the Ocklawaha River here, so it's just kind of more practical for me to get back into freshwater fishing.
So, Chris, where is the money at when you're doing these YouTube videos? How many hits do you get? How many hits, did you get on your first one? Did you just have to grind out an audience? Did you get any viral videos?
Nothing viral yet. That's what we're banking on. I actually got a video coming out soon that actually should, I'm hoping it becomes viral. Now, I have not been doing the YouTube stuff very long. Just being up front with you guys, this is only about our second month doing it.
Oh, okay.
Now, like I said, I fished my entire life, but I've always been camera shy. I've never done good with public speaking engagements or different things like that. And I saw it as an opportunity. I didn't want my son to call me out and then me back down and get shown up by a kid. So I decided to buy some cameras and get some gear and bought a new boat. And you know how that goes. You can't just go fishing with a fishing pole. You need $50,000 worth of equipment to go along with it.
Well, it does make it fun, like the collecting aspect of it and also doing something with your son. Have you guys collectively watched a lot of videos to kind of see how you want to go about, I guess, framing your show or putting it together?
I am having a horrible time hearing you, Dan. I do apologize. For some reason, I'm not hearing exactly what you're saying.
It doesn't matter. I think most people would agree.
Sorry, guys. I hear Tom and Sam just fine.
Yeah, I think most people would agree. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, Chris, let's start off with you gotta make your content different than what's already out there. Have you figured that out? Because me and Daniel have a plan for you.
Well, he can't hear me, so how's he going to know my part of the damn plan?
So Daniel kind of asked about this, what is your content? How's the show going to be structured? Is it informational? Is it just the highlights of you catching the fish? Tell us, Chris.
Yeah, so I'm trying to combine a little bit of everything. What the plan is we're going to do our fishing content, just our regular, like our home lake and different stuff like that. We're going to do challenges. So it'd be like different things. We find different fishing kits online. One that we're actually waiting on the product to come in. We bought the cheapest lures you can buy on Amazon, and we have to go out and actually try to catch fish off of it. Another thing we're doing is informative stuff, how-tos, your typical maintenance on boats, maintenance on your trucks, stuff that other guys only concentrate on fishing. I'm trying to do a total package.
I like this, man. This is great.
So, Chris, that's good. People love informational stuff on YouTube, right? But what you're missing is the audience that's there to hear your views on Trump. Because
that is the hot button.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Or your negative views towards Biden.
But you gotta weave those in there.
Yeah. And I'm just telling this for Chris because I know the fishing audience.
Yeah.
Hey, make fishing great again, right?
Hold on. That's the name of the
already
channel.
on track. I got it.
Listen, I go on the St. John's River every
You
once
see
in a
the
while.
flag.
That's a target-rich environment. up
It
there.
really is. All the I'm surprised they have any red, white, and blue material left. If you look at that, oh my God, there's so much.
So while you're weaving
Looks
in,
like a Tommy Hilfiger factory out there.
while you're and also
By the way, that's a fashion joke. He primarily designs in red, white, and blue.
a little light on conspiracy. Throw that in every once in a while. Some conspiracy theories. Some. A dash of Q, maybe like
A
just
dash of Q. Well, first of all,
just throw it out there.
First of all,
Yeah.
that's the name of my channel. Is a dash of Q, and I'd appreciate it if you would
just reference
you know what?
the mask.
You're gonna have to. Don't tread on my channel, bro.
So I just feel like you need to work that in a little bit, not too heavy.
If
to
you go
scare
too
away.
heavy, then you're picking a side. You can't pick a side. You got to leave it a little bit like for people to like wonder.
Just a tip of the cap.
Yeah.
Like half, like maybe they're on your bait box. There's an old remnants of a Trump 2020 sticker.
Yeah,
you
just
know,
a piece of it.
My boat is red, so I'm already
there it is.
90% of the way there.
That's great.
But every once in a while, confuse them by telling like, "Hey, I got a great electric
we have
trolling
a-
motor."
yeah, or we got a
and then you're like, "This electric trolling motor is great," and then they're like,
we
"What?"
got a guest fisherman today. It's my cousin who
It's funny
happens
you
to be a
mention that.
trans
I just
person.
had a conversation about electric motors on boats.
Yeah. Do you have a trans cousin?
Yeah,
that you
we
can
have
bring
my
on board?
cousin.
Because then you get both audience because you never want to go one side
No.
heavy or the other because
Try to give them all a little something, and then
Yeah.
you put some humor, some disgusting humor in there. You know, like your kid has to take a poop one time off the back of the boat.
And Chris, you need a gimmick where I think at the end of every episode, just like the 1980s when you speed by a speedboat and the guy is on his rowboat and he's like, whoa, 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 and then he falls down into the water. That needs to happen at the end of every episode.
So people
beginning and end of every
you need
episode.
to have a guy like with a floppy hat on. Seemingly looks like a gold miner in a boat.
Well, no, as is Chris. Like
where he falls. Oh, you want him to? I thought he was blowing the doors off of somebody.
Okay, I guess you could.
In his red Trump boat.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You should blow the doors off
you
them.
should blow the doors off some libtard. Can I say that? I probably can't.
Well,
right?
you
can
could
say the lib part. You can't say the other part.
Chris could say it in his videos.
Right. I'm not saying it. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
helping you. I'm just a consultant on this project.
And then you
Sure,
say.
all of my affiliate sponsors would love that.
Yeah.
whoa, we didn't know
depending
you
on
had
the sponsor.
sponsors.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk sponsors here, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay, first, how hard is it to catch a bass?
Well, for me, for the last month, it's been terrible. But
You can ask Tom. I bought a brand new bass rod. And then you bought me. You bought me. I thought like 5 new like spinner baits and crazy like
I don't know what I'm doing.
And then we cast them all. We lost all 5 in one day, and then we ended up just drinking boat in his drinking boat.
Drinking beer. We got wasted. I threw one onto a railroad
Yes.
track.
We couldn't get it down, and then we just said screw it, and then we just did loops around the lake.
So Chris, like when it comes to catching bass, let's talk about the tournaments. I'm always everybody starts off, and then it's a time thing. It's like biggest fish wins. How does it work? What are most tournaments like?
All right, so you're going to have a couple of different ones. They do have a big bass tournament. Oakley, I believe, was the title sponsor for that. Used to have one. They used to do like the Harris chain, the Kissimmee chain of lakes and stuff like that. Just how it sounds, biggest bass of the day wins. You got your other tournament series where you're going to go off the weight of 5 fish. And then a lot of tournaments that I do are what's called shotgun start tournaments. Usually it's on a Monday night or a Tuesday night. You don't, all boats start off exactly the same time. You don't draw numbers and take off like other tournaments. It's just fun. It's kind of like what I would consider the beer league. You know, it's just guys going out and then, just getting together. It's probably about 15 to 20 boats that go out, and it's a winner takes all type tournament. Those are only a 3 fish limit compared to your weekend tournaments that are 5 fish.
Do fishermen, much like NASCAR drivers, do you guys consider yourselves athletes?
Oh, big time athletes. You can look at my physique.
No,
and
I'm
tell
serious. Are like fishermen, like, do they make
Come
the
on.
argument that
No,
anglers,
no,
they
no.
call
They
themselves.
do. Yep, they do.
Because I
And
feel
mean,
like,
same thing-
yeah, I feel like there are
Yeah.
people that are, I'd be like, you're a fisherman, right? They'd be like, excuse me, I'm an angler. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they'd.
Those guys at the top level take it very seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, they have workout routines that they do that pertains to fishing and just different stuff. It looks absolutely wild to me
You're doing
at the
squats.
level I'm at seeing it, but they do. They take it very serious.
Don't skip leg day, bro. You need those legs. They're lifting those big lunkers out of the
Do they have like a balance board they stand on at home and train
core.
casting?
You gotta tighten that core.
Because when a wake comes by, you're standing on the front
Tighten
of
your
your boat.
core, Billy. Tighten your core. Oh God.
I've seen guys actually legitimately get on like the Bowflex style machines and act like they are reeling in fish with the little handle that you use. And getting back to me saying it looks ridiculous to me, but clearly it works for them because they're at the top of their game. So.
So, Chris, I'm going to propose a deal to you for a way we can
Oh boy.
cheat.
This is where he talks you into sleep. He gets to sleep with your wife.
no.
He's been doing this with all the weird jobs. At the end of the phone call, he makes some deal with the guy about sleeping with their wives. It's weird.
I figured out a way to cheat on the tournaments that me and Chris we could set it up, and then Chris can we'll split the winnings
Does
every
it
single
involve a tiny scuba diving Danny?
Yes, it does.
Underwater,
It does. Hold on.
holding a lunker.
Hold on. So, Chris,
Any excuse to be scuba diving Danny.
what I could do is I can get a big pond from Six Flags, and then we'll stock it full of bass. This is going to take a year, so I don't know how fast
This is
bass
a long,
grow.
long con.
But then we feed the bass dog food or whatever the hell they eat, and then they get
Wait
a
a minute.
big
Do I
bass.
have to feed the bass in my scuba?
No,
I don't
no,
wanna do
no.
that.
Well, we'll get
our kids to do it. I'll get Maisie to do it.
So once we get the bass big enough, then we'll get some sort of transportation tank. We'll say you got a fishing tournament coming up. It's on Lake Toho, right?
Yeah.
In Kissimmee. We'll get
What if you painted me like a bass?
Well, no, that doesn't. Hold on. Because, so then
I could be nude.
we'll transfer the mega bass from our holding tank,
Yes.
right? And then we'll go to Lake Toho the day before. And then
And I've affixed myself to the bottom of Lake Toho, and
No,
I'm
no, no.
holding the bass. I'm
No, no,
hugging
no.
it, and then
We
you
don't
have to
just
radio
cage.
back, release the bass.
No, we'll go out there in the middle of the night and we'll get a cage, a big ass cage, and we'll get the mega bass in the cage. We'll scuba dive down there. We'll mark where it is,
Yeah.
GPS wise. Then the day of the tournament, you'll just race over there.
All you have to do is throw your line out. I'll be down there.
Yeah,
I'll give
yeah,
you
yeah.
2 tugs.
yeah, we'll hook them in there,
Yeah.
and then you'll
I'll
get some
hook
mega
up-
bass.
I'll hook it up. I'll slap the top of the bass. Doom, doom.
What's stopping us from doing that, Chris?
All right. Well, I loved your proposal, but here's the kicker: they do polygraph tests on most of your large tournaments.
That's fake.
a lot of
Scientologists.
stuff like
I
that,
can beat that, Chris.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Scientologists beat it all the time.
Yeah, attack in the toe. Everybody knows polygraph. Attack in the toe will beat a polygraph each time, especially when you're giving your name and your address, the
Yeah.
baseline. You tack your toe. That way,
You throw off the baseline, you throw off the tap.
Exactly, Chris. Come on.
This guy's amateur hour.
Yeah,
Boy,
yeah,
you
yeah,
are
yeah.
a
polygraph.
new-
That's
you
the
are
only
new-
thing stopping us.
We got a YouTuber. We got a YouTube fisherman who's never beat a
Also-
polygraph before. This guy's amateur hour. Over
There's
here.
Chris. There is no way they're bringing a professional polygraph person
No.
on every single bass tournament.
No.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure it's done with a raccoon wearing a hat. But
Yeah.
There's no polygraph. Someone downloaded an polygraph app and they're like talking
Yeah,
to it.
all right.
That's not gonna hold up.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's the joke one.
But Chris, seriously, what stops people from cheating? Do they Can't you stuff some lead into the
I'm
fish?
sure it's happened.
Do they?
Right?
Do they?
X-ray the
yeah,
fish?
it happens all the time. I've lost tournaments due to people cheating, and I could point it out plain as day, but nobody would listen to me, and so.
Wait, I also like that.
What were
I'm
they
also a big
doing?
fan of the cheating, and then everybody's like, "No, they cheated. You gotta let them have it." It's like charity golf tournaments. You go there, and then you got the leading team.
Yeah.
Got some goalie from Orlando City on it, and they
Yeah.
win. How much did they win in golf? They're playing
Yeah.
golf. They
You got
won.
5 hole-in-ones?
They were 3,000 under. You know, it was like, 3,000 under.
But Chris, what were they doing to cheat?
Underwater traps, similar to what you were talking about. They tried to
hold
Tom
on.
Vanna.
They got a little guy down there in a scuba suit?
Man, I'm good at cheating. I literally just improved a way that they actually cheat because I had no idea.
You are very good at thinking of
you're
that.
naturally
God, I'm
crooked,
good at
man.
it. I need to figure out a way to make more
Quick,
money
call
on
our
this.
sponsors. Tell all our sponsors Tom's naturally crooked.
Well, if I ever did break bad,
Oh, man.
Write that down,
Real
Sam.
bad.
Anyway,
What if your hands, you go and you're like, I've got carpal tunnel, my hands, and they're like, sir, this is not carpal tunnel. You have extreme hands AIDS.
oh, and
You
then,
have 14 months to live
Oh,
with
yeah,
your
yeah,
extreme hands AIDS.
I'll start piling the
yeah,
money.
start
in the,
piling the money.
in
And then the
storage
last
unit.
scene, minigun, you kill all the Russians.
Yeah. I can get a minigun.
Yeah.
Gannon can
That's
give
me.
me one.
It's just me dressed in a refrigerator box. Somebody wrote gun on it.
Gannon can definitely give me a minigun. So, all right, Chris. So back to how you're going to make money off this. How is that?
Well, right now, I'm just trying to do the groundwork, getting everything going. But we do plan to make some money off of YouTube. I mean, that's everyone's intent when they start. Hoping that can come to fruition a lot sooner than later. But doing tournaments, working partnerships with people, affiliate links, different things like that. There's quite a few ways to it. It's not just going and making fun videos. There's a huge business side to it. You got to learn how to market yourself and stuff like that. So, like I said, make money off of the actual YouTube stuff itself. Affiliate stuff, also fishing tournaments. Your local tournaments, you're not going to make a bunch of money on. You'll make enough to pay for your fuel for the weekend. But when you get into those larger tournaments, those guys on the top level, they do very, very well for themselves.
That's awesome.
It seems like there's a good money in sponsorships and like reel and bait sponsorships and boat and like even the boats. My buddy Bracken's brother-in-law.
Yeah, he sponsored. Didn't
he? I remember Bracken has a bass boat because his brother-in-law won like a new one
he
or
didn't
whatever,
need it.
and then he sold his old one, and then it's like they'll give you. I mean, how much are one of those bass boats brand new with a big ass 350 Merc on the back?
Oh, you're looking at 100,000 easily.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Oh my God, to catch a tiny little bass. That's nuts. I love it, though.
By the way, why do you need such a big motor?
Because it's fast.
I mean, is it really? Because at a certain point, my Uncle Billy in the 80s had this
just
boat.
give the real answer. It's because it's awesome.
Right?
That's the real answer is that, of course they don't need it.
You need to go 88 miles an hour down, across Lake
Back
Tahoe.
to the Future, you do. If you want to get back to see Biff, if you want to fish with him.
How fast can you go, Chris?
Oh, there's boats. I've been well over 100 mile an hour in a bass boat
I don't
and
wanna do
a
that.
saltwater flats boat.
No, I don't want to do that because if
Holy-
we hit,
you're sitting-
if we hit anything, I'm good as dead.
Hold on, you're only like 18
Oh, yeah,
inches.
there's nothing left when you hit something.
No, I'm not doing that.
So you're going 100 miles an hour, and you're just sitting on like
a piece of paper,
Like-
a tiny piece of paper
A
with metal.
21 and a half foot boat that's less than a foot off the water.
You're literally sitting on a surfboard with metal flake sparkles in it.
Because you've seen those drag boat races where they something happens.
They're
and
not
all-
even in the water. It's just the engine in the water, and the boat's flying out in the air, flopping all around.
Basically hovering,
It's
yeah.
just the transom and the propeller are underwater, and that's it. The entire boat
and
is
you got
on.
like this Donzi out with some dude with a mustache. He's flopping all around. Great. No, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I mean, there's got to be a reason why they kept getting bigger and bigger motors. I mean, I guess there is some advantage
Because
in
it's awesome.
getting to the honey hole. The
That's what I've
fastest.
always been told.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, those guys. When you're fishing on these large tournaments, if you get into a large reservoir system, there's guys I've talked to that have traveled over 200 miles on the water in one weekend just fishing. I talked to a guy recently that was fishing up north. It was on the Mississippi River, further north on it, and he said that in one trip to run, he ran 124 miles to get to his first location.
Because
Chris.
that's some serious freshwater fishing if you're going that far. My God.
So, Chris, real quick, back to cheating. With bass tournaments on Lake Tahoe, there's people that live on Lake Tahoe. I'm sure you could easily replicate like I was joking before about actually raising the bass and putting them there, but you could probably make an environment that's secret from, and then GPS, the environment that would attract bass.
Oh, like set it up for them and attract them there.
Like puts, it's kind of like what they do to throw a car hood in the ocean to attract lobster. Like there's like bass like overhangs and certain, maybe you put some food there every week just to attract big fish, and then you go to that spot where no one knows about and you catch big fish. Do people do that?
Oh yes, absolutely. Especially my home lake. There's guys that go out there. There are hundreds of places marked on GPS shortly after Christmas time, because what these guys do is ride around to all of their buddies' houses, pick up all their old dead Christmas trees, and go put them in a bucket with concrete and go sink them out in the lake, making artificial brush piles. They'll do it in the middle of the night, mark it on their GPS, and then there's their own honey hole. And there are probably close to 75 piles like that in the lake where I live.
Christmas trees. Who would, dude? That's okay. Just in case anybody's wondering why I love Weird Job Wednesday, Weird Hobby.
Weird.
That little nugget of
never even heard of
what
that.
Do guys do? Oh, they take an old Christmas tree, they put it in a Homer bucket, fill it with concrete, and they sink it to make it an attractive place for bass to go. That's the piece
so
of
they
knowledge
can cheat
I
on
wanted.
fishing tournaments.
That's the knowledge I wanted.
I thought all good rednecks burn Christmas trees, but I learned differently after fishing for
I
quite a
like
long
this
time.
one better. This one's better.
So
man.
Chris, plug your YouTube channel.
Yep, you can find us on YouTube and any other social media platform at CD2 Fishing.
CD2 Fishing.
CD2 Fishing.
Yep, CD2 Fishing, and that's me and my son. It originally started off as CD with the squared logo. Found out real quick, I know nothing about technology. You actually can't put the small number 2. You can tell I'm not very smart. But the squared
exponent?
symbol on there. So it's just I had to actually change it. It's CD2 Fishing everywhere.
All right, Chris, we'll talk to you soon. Enjoy your fishing, and we'll be back. Oh, God. We'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to end fast.
We'll be back, baby.
Yeah, we'll be back, baby.
Oh, God. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So creating YouTube videos. And
It's hard, man.
content. Yeah.
We do it daily, but we have yet to find really any success. I mean, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would urge everybody to. Tom and Dan Live. We need smaller content, I think, in order to be
Well, we got
discovered
our tunes
and found.
up there, and we got
Our
the
shorts.
clips from Melissa.
Yeah, the clips go. I put up two new clips today.
But regardless, our content is mainly focused
Show-related,
on show-related and audio, right? And then I'm talking about creating content from scratch, right? You need to know video editing, right? And you need to be familiar with software and editing, and then how to because if you're not, just learning to do that is going to be the majority of your time spent, And then I feel like a lot of people forget about the editing time when they see these things, and they forget how much time that takes to even put a well-edited, produced video out.
I mean, I got a bunch of templates, and it takes hours to get stuff out. I mean, rendering video is, you need a decent computer. If you're doing tiny clips, and if you're working with a video codec that allows for easy editing, then you're good. But for the most part, man, it's a task.
But let's say that you're a fisherman, like Chris was, and you go out fishing for the day. You're already going to be doing this, right? So then you got to videotape yourself catching the fish, right, and getting good angles, and then putting together kind of all right, I'm going to use this shot, because you need to kind of envision the episode or what the content.
You need some B-roll. You need some establishing shots. You need some footage of the lake, footage of the boat, footage of you,
and just a lot of work, right? And then once you get all that, then you have an hour of raw footage, and you need to knock
Or
all that
more,
down.
yeah.
Knock that
can
down.
I tell you? I get
it's
people
7 minutes or 10 minutes. It's crazy.
I get people that ask me all the time, because I remember I started out doing video. I mean, years ago I started doing videos. I would buy specific little video cameras, little flip cameras and everything, and then I taught myself how to edit video pretty well. I'm pretty good at it. What's funny though is that as far as videoing what we do here, our lives, events, my normal day here, I can't find a workflow to video that to show people what we do. I can't find the workflow to do that. It's not satisfying at all to me to video myself typing a computer and editing. There are people that are like, hey, just show me what you guys do through a normal day. And I'm like, I can't.
You can do
I can't do it.
And the first one may be pretty interesting, showing kind of what our beats
It's
are.
the
But then
same
it's like
every day.
But then it's like, all right, we need to create the next video and the next one, and then 30 down.
Yeah.
You start trying to get more creative. You're like, well, I need to fall down today. Something needs to happen.
Well, okay,
and so then that
okay, you
spiral.
hit
Then 100 down the road.
right.
Then you're
though.
manufacturing.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
why we have a problem on YouTube.
then I'm
That's why the Nikocado avocados. That's why remember Family of Five, or what is it, Mommy of Five or Daddy of Five? Remember those people?
Yeah.
And they are like beating their children. And
Yeah,
like,
you got to make it more salacious.
more
Yeah.
interesting.
But
each
we have
time.
to focus on our actual show.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
So it doesn't necessarily make sense to us, but I'm looking at like all these content creators on YouTube and social media and stuff, and I always in my mind like remember how much editing they have to do for these things, right? Because it seems like, oh, they're just putting out there, like, your first thought is this is pretty easy and fun. They're going out showing us all the top couple things. We're researching a vacation, and there's a lot of people that do that, like where they do like, here's the top 5 things to do wherever in this thing, and like that.
I want to do that.
It takes a
time.
a lot of editing to produce that at the end.
Yeah.
Of, like, you're not only are they going on these vacations, but then you're also turning your vacation into work a little bit, because now you're like, oh, I need to get this shot and this shot. So it's like, are you truly enjoying a vacation, or is this
You're
work?
not. You're working. And then I'm also seeing people, there's 3 iterations of that. There's the people that you think, like, there's in your mind what you think you're doing. Like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to honestly project that, the top 5 vacation destinations in Sanford. Let's just say that's what I'm doing. Here are the top 5 things you should do in Sanford. So you start with this great idea. The second thing is now you're working. Now it's not even fun. And the third thing is you start to get people that, like, then they start skewing the message. They're like, well, I'm not going to give you the top 5 places, in my honest opinion. I got reached out to by this destination.
Right.
They want me to say that they're great. I'm going to do that.
They're paying me to say this experience.
And they're going to now be
the
the number one. So I see that all day long on YouTube. And you got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, all of that. I don't even like those top 5s. You get it a lot in Tesla world with my car. Like, you get a lot of, like, misinformation, a lot of headline jumpers. Like, you get a lot of people that'll be like, oh God, Tesla did it again, and then you'll click on it and it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like nothing burgers on everything, where it's just they just want you to click the headline, and it's kind of gross.
I think it was Bert Kreischer that was telling us on some interview we did with him when he did like was it
That
show,
travel
the travel
show, yeah.
whatever.
Bert the Conqueror.
He was talking about how miserable the schedule and the production schedule is on those type of things, where you are you nonstop moving to place. He's like, you're not enjoying like the show. People watching are like, oh, you get to go to awesome places and go to the, and like, no. This is not a vacation. This is we have to show up at this time for makeup and the production and then we have to wait a bunch of time in between shots. So there's
no downtime. It's all go.
Yeah.
It's a grind, and you're not enjoying. So it's like, I wonder if with these YouTube content creators, like, yes, they're going with their family on vacation and then presenting it to you and like as content. How much are they enjoying their vacation, and how much are they worried about the content they're producing, and is that taken in,
It's funny, too, because I've been consuming a decent amount of content. I think, namely in researching the Tesla before I purchased it, right?
Yeah.
And what I noticed in that world, and then also in some other things, like in researching tools, I've been on a lot of like tool websites because I'm getting some new tools and outfitting my garage with some stuff.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've noticed both on YouTube and Reddit is that the vast majority of people that are producing content just in this lane. I'm not saying everybody, but they're just complaining. Like, and because that gets the most amount of eyes. So they'll take something that they don't like and they'll just make a whole video about their dissatisfaction with something, which is fine. I mean, maybe you feel wronged, or maybe you feel like, this particular, wax that you purchased to detail your car wasn't good. But like, I'm noticing that most of the videos that get the most amount of clicks are the negative ones. And it's like, I don't know, it kind of pushes me away from it, because I'm like, I don't necessarily know if I'm getting honest content here. I think you're motivated by you're saying what you think you need to say in order to get the most amount of heat on it, and I'm not sure I like that.
Well, that is what's wrong with the internet.
Yeah,
because it skews everybody towards what will get the most attention or the most clicks or the most response, and usually that is more negative than positive.
For a review of something, though, because I'll say, like, if I buy something on Amazon, I'll look at the reviews, and I focus more on the negative reviews only because
Me too.
If it's something like to them that's super negative, but to me, I'm like, that's not that bad. You know what I mean? So I will actually seek for the bad, even food, like if I'm going to a restaurant.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why people focus on the negative when they do reviews?
It also gets more clicks.
I think it just
You
naturally.
think most people do look at the negative?
I agree.
Because there's more to say
so.
and it's more interesting. It's how we're designed as humans or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
it's not
psychology.
okay. For instance, like I'll use my Tesla thing as an example. The majority of the videos out there that were in the category that I was searching for, my particular car, on delivery day, Tesla delivery day, they're atrocious. It's all people saying, oh, this was bad and this was bad. It's like some things you're like, you read it and you're like, oh my God, how did that even happen? Did that happen? Here's why I can't make a video. Mine was like literally the most simple, easy thing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I'm not saying it was
like, here it is.
drama free. It was literally there was nothing of interest to talk about,
Right.
and that's why you're not going to get a video on that. Because how interesting would my video be if like, my daughter and I went down there and the car was ready just like they said. There was one little spot that they needed to clean. Other than that, it was stress free. I'm like, that's not a fun video to put out.
It's why reality shows all turn fake, right? It's
Right.
like, it's like,
Yes.
the original real world is like they may have, their original plan was, hey, we're going to film this as real as possible.
Yeah.
And they realized, like,
It wasn't enough.
hey, when what's-his-name freaks out about the peanut butter, like, that was our most popular show. We should do more of that. How do we get more of that? And then all of a sudden, like that. And then now we live in a world where it's like everything that gets posted on the internet, like, I think people they lean towards posting something negative or at least salacious or having an opinion. For instance, I'm sure when Facebook first started, someone posted, I'm not the biggest fan of eggs. And then they got like 2 likes from their meme-all. And then all of a sudden they realized, like, hey, if I post, I hate eggs, anybody who eats them is disgusting. It's coming out of a chicken's beehole.
Beehole,
And
right.
then and then all of a sudden a bunch of people react and they're like, oh, well, that, anyways, so that is what everything turned into, is I'm going to post what gets the most reaction.
Yeah,
and then it skews everything. Like media, everything, news, like everybody's trying to get the most views.
Yeah.
And in that world, in all media, even social media, it becomes skewed and not reality.
I hate it. It actually makes it twice as hard to find good information.
It's hard, but we reward that. We don't the good information that's like balanced and fair, like society doesn't want,
No,
so
we
people
don't want
don't create
that.
it.
You want extremes.
I will say, I'll give you a compliment. It's like the people that I like the most on YouTube are typically a Tom Van of whatever I found, right? So I find a guy, and he's just like a guy that likes, let's say, my Tesla Model 3, and he's like you, and he'll just go like, here are the things I like, here are the things I don't like. And it's not going to be the best content, but it's going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it'll be good, and it'll tell you, and it's not going to be long videos. They're going to be short, to the point. They're not going to be salacious. They're not going to pull you in with a catchphrase, or like, you're not going to believe this. Like, I hate that.
But they are not going to make any money.
No,
and
they're
not
not.
going to
700 views.
Yeah, they're not going to continue.
I'm one of their only subscribers,
Yeah.
you know?
Unless they're independently wealthy
Right.
or are not doing this for the views or money or just like totally motivated by.
Worse than Tesla,
Information.
barbecue. That's the worst one. Barbecue and barbecue grills on YouTube.
Yeah.
Those guys, oh my God, how to smoke a pulled pork. Those guys,
When
they're the worst.
like, okay, so on TikTok, I've never tried to create a TikTok video, but they all look heavily edited, right? Is it? Do they
lot
make
of
it
them.
easy to do that on the fly through your phone?
I'm not gonna say
Or
it's
through-
easy, but if you know how to do it, you can do like tons of things on there.
like they're adding.
Yeah,
they're
I
adding
think
music.
there's a dummy way to do it, which is basically what I do. I haven't done a ton of research on how to
Yours are
edit my
good.
video. They're pretty basic and
His
simple.
fingers are too fat, and that's not a diss.
But I think you could do it.
your fingers are too fat to do what you're going to want to do. You want to do movie magic and flames and do all the crazy
No.
stuff. You're not going to be
I-
able to do it.
Yeah, just the basic. What I'm thinking is like as basic editing gets easier and easier through these apps and stuff.
Easier
like,
and easier for normal people that like
Right.
technology.
That's right. Yeah.
Not you.
Well, no. I'll never. It'll never.
I'm
be
just.
easy
I'm
for
being
me.
honest with you. It's
I
like
could-
I don't think you're gonna like it because even I don't like it. The interface is clunky, man. Like putting little. If you want to put like a GIF on there, if you want to put like a PNG file,
tedious, yeah.
Yeah, it's real tedious. I wish
I've
that-
never done it on a desktop, so maybe it's easier.
Can you do it on a desktop?
Yeah, Butler used to do it.
On the desktop?
Yeah.
Oh man. That guy's cool.
Or at least he was messing around with it. I don't know if
I
he
think
actually
he was
successfully
watching
did.
watching Netflix on his desktop.
I got a lot of flack for calling them Apple EarPods on
why-
Facebook.
Oh no, that was Gary.
They're
Gary,
getting ya.
come on, Gary.
I
Give
know,
him a
I get
break,
it.
Gary.
No, I sound like a dumb old man. I admit it. Although
Gary calling you a dumb old man is dumb old man.
I was trying to use my AirPods this morning, and
What happened?
Dead.
No, I charged them last night. I put them in my ears, and it wasn't doing the like get the sound and connect the sound.
God, I wish I could change my real sound to the sound you just made.
And then so I opened the flap, and then
Let me get this flap open.
and then it's like connecting, and then it's like failure, and then I'm like, why?
Oh, it was already connected to something.
What? But it's my. Why doesn't it work?
It's like, are you?
And then that's why I get so frustrated. So then I have to dig through my drawer and get corded earbuds.
Your phone has a cord port, an aux port. Mine does not anymore.
Yeah, mine doesn't.
No,
either.
yeah, but I
Which
got the
kind of annoyed by
I got the
that.
cord
me too.
ones with the
the one that has the lightning.
This one, yeah, the
connector.
lightning connector.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
gotcha.
I gave you those.
but anyway, then I'm like, why doesn't it work? Like, they're my AirPods. They've only been connected to my
They're
phone.
my AirPods.
No, but
It's
it's-
only been connected to your phone?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
because Crystal has her own, so there's like no one else. You borrowed it, like, so why doesn't it work?
Well, the only
And I'm like,
example I could give you is that the battery that you let the battery on them get so low that it was unable to remember the factory and default settings of being connected to your Bluetooth. So when you powered it back on, it had nothing to connect to. That's the only answer I could give you that would make sense.
so I had to
You
start
let
the
it get
whole
way too.
Okay,
Like if you let that thing go all the way to zero and you washed it in the washer. Like,
No,
is
I
it-
didn't wash it.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it obviously it went to dead, and then like 2 weeks, like you didn't use them for like 2 weeks. Plus,
Is it possible you and Crystal accidentally switched AirPods?
No,
That's
but
possible.
Daniel's, I think, because I did let them go pretty dead. I
Yeah.
just didn't
You don't
realize
wanna let
that
'em get-
once they get super
well,
dead.
if they get
that
to zero, they're like at zero, but there's like a little bit of charge in there, I think, for it to remember
Yeah.
its factory settings that it's like, gonna reconnect to your phone.
Anyway, that's most of my day, screaming that my Bluetooth doesn't
Pods.
work or whatever.
Messed
The
your
Alexa's
pods up, yeah.
can't turn the alarm off. Anyway, bye-bye.
Hey, it is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
And we have a 18-wheeler field. I can't talk
18-wheelie?
We have an 18-wheelie field. We have an 18-wheeler filled with Puerto Rican baby earrings, and we don't know what to do with
Oh,
them.
please buy them.
That's why I'm
one's
stumbling.
gonna buy 'em.
The reason I'm stumbling and I can't talk
They're so
is
cute.
we spent in upwards of thousands of dollars buying thousands of pairs of Puerto Rican baby earrings, and I don't know what we're supposed to do with them. They're $8 a pair, guaranteed to turn your lobes green.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they'll green them up good.
$8 too much.
It
Great for
really
St.
is.
Patty's
Can we
Day.
lower that? Has this ever been done before? This is like QVC. Has this ever been done before?
Well, they
We're
used to be
dropping it.
10.
We're
Now
dropping.
they're
No,
8.
I'm dropping it right now. Are you listening?
$7.
Drop it down to
$7.
$6.
What?
$6. That doesn't even cover our shipping and handling.
I don't
folks.
think we could do that.
Get on the phones right now if you want them. 1-844 Tom and Dan. That's TOM, the letter N, DAN. 1-844. This has never been done before. Puerto Rican baby earrings, $6 a pair, guaranteed to turn your ears green.
BDM Beach Party this Saturday. If you're not a BDM, you can sign up and just come.
Yes.
But you got to find another BDM to tell you
Yes.
where it is, and I mean, you'll know. I mean, there's enough BDMs
you know where
going
it's
there.
at. Just follow
Yeah.
Super Dave. You'll find it.
So the NFL is back this weekend.
Yeah. Are you excited?
I am excited.
You and I were doing some trades earlier
yeah,
today.
yeah.
I thought it
You
was a fair
were.
trade.
Some fantasy football trades.
A
I need
little-
a running backs.
Little fantasy football trading it up. But I did
So-
think, though, for a split second, whenever we trade, I always get a little bit of puckering because I feel like the rest of our heritage fantasy football league will think that we're in some sort of collusion or we're like, trying to cheat the system by making one mega team and then splitting the winnings or something like that. But
So there are 3 different things happening this season that I'm trying to think about. I'm sure I've seen before. I can't think of an example. And so week 1, there are 2 former quarterbacks from certain teams playing their former team. So
Right.
2 quarterbacks playing their former team that they got traded. One being Russell Wilson is playing the Seahawks in week 1, and then also Baker Mayfield now on the Carolina Panthers. He's playing the Browns.
No, you got one team. It seems like Russell Wilson keeping his mouth quiet. Like, I haven't heard nothing from that man. Well, like head down, just kind of doing his thing. And then you got Baker Mayfield running his mouth, which I like. I like it.
It's more entertaining.
It is more entertaining when they asked him, what are you going to do? He's like, we're going to F him up. I'm like, all right, that's great.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you guys about. So Baker Mayfield obviously has been more vocal about wanting to beat the Browns in week one, right?
I like that. They're like that in baseball, too.
And
always want to beat your former team.
Which I understand it's definitely more entertaining. But if you think about, like, okay, he's got nothing against the players, right? Obviously on the Browns.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe they bullied him or they said he's not good enough or something. Who knows? Could be real personal on that end, right?
Well, from all that I've heard,
maybe they put trash on his chair like the Predators did in the locker room.
There's been a couple players that talk S or have publicly talking S about him, but for the most part, I don't think he's got anything against the players. It's more the organization for trading him,
right,
or for taking Deshaun Watson and then basically, I guess they didn't inform him and they were going to do that, or
sure.
they originally told him that he was the guy, and then all of a sudden this Watson deal came and
it's called
whatever.
The Matt Ryan.
So, but is that motivation a real thing that should be factored into whether or not they're going to win or not? It's hard to quantify, but it seems like
I think so.
Every quarterback's motivation is to win exactly this 100%.
I mean, as an emotional person,
give me more.
It seems like you're asking me if whether or not we can factor in emotion. And as an emotional man, dare I say the most emotional person on this program by a lot, I'm the only girl on the show. Yeah, but Sam's way tougher than me.
Emotion hurts you.
It can. And but you asked if it's going to be a factor. You didn't ask whether it's going to help. Well, maybe you did ask if they're going to win.
Well, can it negatively
I don't want to
affect
misspeak.
you?
I don't want to put words in your mouth. So are you saying it can affect it, or are you saying win?
Well, like a lot of people bring up motivation as a factor, and it does make sense if you dive deeper into like end of the year, if a team isn't motivated to win, to particularly like get them, if they've already like secured their playoffs and there's no really point to win,
right?
Like as far as like you just want to stay healthy, like there's that motivation obviously, and like where you want to stay healthy, like there is no benefit to winning. It's not going to.
I definitely think this factors in now, and I'll tell you why. It may not have factored in when Baker Mayfield originally started talking. But as soon as the story got legs and started making the rounds and became bigger than even just the original comment, it's huge now. It's like a huge story. I got 3 different emails from 3 different sports organizations. Like it was like their lead story about him. Like, what's going to happen?
But it's all just storyline and fluff.
But I do think it will affect him because he seems like the type of person that it would affect him.
But
I think it would affect him in the negative.
So it could actually hurt.
Yes.
And
my prediction is
instead
that
of like,
he ran his mouth
he's
not going to be able to back it up. That's my prediction.
Or how you back it up is basically like every individual play is played out, and there's so many things that could happen during that play that is like some tip ball could swing the game. You know, like all these little things.
Depends on how many plays they have scripted for the beginning of the game leading off, right? Like who knows how deep they're going to even go in that.
So every play is like a microtransaction, a reset. You know, it's different.
Yeah.
So it's like you're 100% motivated every play to get the necessary first down. So the overall beating your former team doesn't play into that. As far as your motivation is to get 3 yards for the first down in the second quarter where you're down by 3. You know what I'm saying?
Like you're staying in the moment. I don't think he's that guy, though. I think this is case by case. So if you're talking about Baker Mayfield, I feel like this type of what you're talking about will affect him. If you're talking about Brady, I think it will not affect him. Because to me, it's the man, not not what's swirling around them. Like Baker Mayfield, to me, seems like he's more volatile. Isn't that the term that they use in fantasy football with players that are more easily affected by things?
Yeah, I mean, that was, I guess, it's not necessarily the
he's
best
more
team leader.
Yeah, like all these people that were talking about Brady before the beginning of the season, they're like, oh, he's coming in later. Wow, he doesn't seem really focused. I heard that at our fantasy football draft. Well, he doesn't seem really focused this year. Man, you got nothing to worry about. That guy's as focused as he's ever been. You crazy? Are you crazy?
So then is there, and it seems like the better argument for besides motivation is the fact that these quarterbacks are used to playing against the defense. Like Baker Mayfield, when they practiced, they would practice against their their defense, their first team defense. And so he's used to that defense. Does that give him an advantage? Because that seems like more of an advantage than his motivation. Same thing with Russell Wilson. Like Russell Wilson has been practicing against the Seahawks defense for his entire career. So it was like, and I understand only the players from last year probably matter and they got some new pieces, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but he knows how
he knows how Pete Carroll, so that to me gives him a bigger advantage than any sort of motivation to beat his former team, right? But the motivation is, I guess, more fun to talk about. That hence why you hear it so often.
Exactly.
Although entertaining as hell. The third piece of this, which is crazy that this is happening and is partly the reason why I lost my Deshaun Watson bet, is they suspended him for 11 games. When he comes back, his first game back is against Houston Texans.
That's insane.
Which kind of plays into, I read some whole article I was telling you about it, but like the league, the other owners of the league put pressure on Goodell to not suspend him the whole year because that would actually benefit the Cleveland Browns organization because the way his contract was structured.
They're like, whoa, what are you doing?
So it's like by them suspending him the entire year would have actually helped Cleveland Browns, in which the other owners are mad at the Browns for paying Deshaun Watson so much guaranteed money because that sets a precedent. They'll have to pay their own quarterback, blah, blah, blah. So hence they brought him back after, they made the thing 11 games. Surprisingly, that means the game he comes back is against Houston Texans, which to me, though, is dangerous for the NFL to even do because that is good.
It just serves it up on a platter, right? Like, here it is.
Well, Houston, it seems like all their fans and everybody's going to be more violent or at least more aggressive towards Deshaun Watson during that particular game.
I'll be watching. Have you heard some of the chants? I don't know how they're gonna handle those on national TV, but they're not good.
Probably just cut it out, right?
I don't know if you can. They're bad. Well, you have to cut a lot of audio.
Right.
So,
because some of them they're not even using. Some of them they'll just put you're a sick F in there. That's one of the chants. They try to find things that are like pertaining to the cases oh God, it's terrible.
But I don't think I've ever seen this where three different quarterbacks are playing their former teams their first game back. You know what I'm saying? With a new team. So
is that rando or are they like?
It damn sure doesn't seem random.
It seems like here we are. Let's tee it up.
It does.
They gotta do something exciting to get the heat off all the bad stuff, right?
Well, the game's already exciting. People love it.
Gonna put more heat on the bad stuff. Like
I say, it would have been better just to let it fade away.
Well, his first game back is gonna be in this the town that he is at least inappropriate to.
I don't know how many
20 women that live locally.
Yeah.
So not only you got the fans,
it's not good.
Well, all the fans are mad at him for not only quitting on them because he signed a contract, then he quit, but then for all this and the negative, and then the organization itself got sued and they had to settle with there's going to be the most hate in this game towards him.
Yes.
But I guess the most viewers, which is ultimately it all comes down to money.
As long as Coca-Cola gets their eyes on that new commercial.
But it's like,
my God.
Do you want that negative of the, so much negativity focused in that one game back? Anyway, do the quarterbacks themselves, besides Watson, obviously this is a whole different thing, but Russell Wilson and then Mayfield. So do they feel any awkwardness because
I mean I can only put this in perspective of how I've lived.
Does it matter?
I've been in scenarios before where I've had to go back to the place that was my home after making a major change, right?
Yeah.
And I will say that I think it is impossible to do that without having any awkwardness. I don't think there's any such thing as doing that and not having any.
Because, well, at least with Mayfield, he gets to play in Carolina when they face the Browns. Russell Wilson is going to the Seahawks Stadium.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That's going to be rough.
So he spent his entire career with the Seahawks.
Out of everybody, Russell Wilson is going to have the hardest time.
And then now his first game with Denver is going to be at that stadium.
An iconic stadium, too. We've been there.
That he played for so many years.
We've been to that place. How loud? It's loud as hell.
So that's
going to be nuts.
Although it gives him an advantage, right? Because he's played in that stadium for so long.
Depends on if you operate that way, though, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's going to be awkward, though, right? Imagine you coming back there. You'd be awkward, right? Because naturally, I think you're built for awkwardness, you know?
But maybe these guys are so...
you think you'd be fueled by it, though? Like, some of them I feel like are fueled by it. Some of them aren't, though.
Yeah. Or maybe all this drama that gets built up in media.
You don't think it matters at all?
I think all these guys are just like, maybe behind the scenes, and I always think this.
What do you think, Sam?
It's more...
I'm sure it's case by case. Some people, it's just a job. Some people are
like, to me, Baker Mayfield
looks
looks like the type of guy that if you cut him off in traffic, I'm just generalization, right? He looks like if you cut him off in traffic, he's going to catch up to you at the next exit and yell at you. You know, like he's hot. Whereas you look at like a Russell Wilson, he don't look very hot. He looks real calculated, right? Calm.
Like even
sneaky.
Because it's all just a business that they get paid millions for, and they have lawyers and agents and managers, and they're all depending on these people and their careers, and there's so much money involved in the ownership and stuff. Like maybe it's just, you know, there's no emotion in it at all.
We always say that. We always say that, but we've never truly confirmed it.
They're young kids, though. I mean, I say kids, but not. I guess Mayfield is in his. God.
I mean, he's young enough to tweet something terrible
20s.
or say something dumb, right?
Russell Wilson is like 30 or something like that. No, he
got to be older than that, right? Russell Wilson got to be older than 30.
32, something like that. I don't know.
33.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say he's got to be at least 30.
So he's older, I guess. But I
still
wonder,
old enough to tweet something stupid.
It seems like a long time ago, 20, 30 years ago, it was a lot more where people had some sort of emotion into it, and now it's more corporate. And all these guys are looking at like more of a corporate, and this is a job, this is how it goes.
What changes it is the league. Like, it feels like they're playing for the league. You see what I'm saying? Like, whereas
instead of the team.
In like the EPL, you don't get that. You get like more like it's more in the team, not to make it like state versus federal. Like that's not what I'm trying to do, but you know what I mean? Like it's like the MLS. I've always hated the loyalty to the league. I've always hated when it seems like all the teams are in cahoots. I've hated that. It kind of ruins it for me when you look at the whole thing as like, oh yeah, it's just one big entertainment package. It was always better to me when it felt like all the teams were governed by this league and nobody likes the league. You know, that's all. That's the way I liked it.
It's how everything's structured. I think it's, it benefits the players for the league to do well, and they all understand that. And so it's all like cohesive in this together. We're all going to make as much money as possible.
It's not as good for the viewer, though. It's just like when you figure it all out, then you're like, well, it doesn't even matter.
It takes the magic of that they care away.
It does.
And then when it gets down to the players don't give two S's what team they play for or how long they play for.
No loyalty whatsoever.
And they're just, they're playing for themselves. And that's honestly, it's more logical to do that, right?
Oh,
like
yeah, for themselves.
Teams don't care. The fans don't care.
If I were in that scenario, I would do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
We got to take a break.
Anyway, I'm excited. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
Yeah, leave us a voicemail message. 2 ways to do that. You can get our free app just wherever you get your apps for your cellular device. You can find the Mediocre app. Just search Tom and Dan or A Mediocre Time. And you can hit a little button in there. It says Mediocre Messages. You can leave us a message, or you can call this number, 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-TOM and Dan. And you can leave us a voicemail message like this one right here.
Hey guys, Hilton Head BDM. I just wanted to weigh in on belly button talk.
Now, he called back in. He has called in. I mean, multiple times. I'm just going to spare you the 9 different voicemails that he left about this.
All about belly buttons?
Well, I called him a liar and said, because remember the last time, this is a call back.
Yeah.
He called in. Hilton Head BDM called in and says, when you push in your belly button as hard as you can, he feels it on the head of his downstairs. And I don't have that problem. You don't have that problem. But multiple people, and then including him calling in multiple times saying, no, this is a thing. So I'll put it back out there. We've got this week. Your challenge is to report back on whether or not men, if you push into your belly button as hard as you can, if you get a stinger on the head of your dinger.
It doesn't happen to me.
Doesn't happen to me either, although I just did it.
Sting or no sting.
And I think I got a little bit, maybe. A little bit. All right. Let's try this one.
If you're talking about just boofing outside, that has happened. But next to a chimney is where you lost me. So outside, yes. Next to a fire, no.
Boofing outside next to a chimney. I checked that off. I've done that before.
I
don't have a chimney.
Outside boofing is where it's at.
I fell into a
burning ring of fire.
No, a video. I was doing some research
for your masturbation. And you realize that this is what you're into.
And I clicked on, you click on one video and then it'll show you a bunch of related videos or whatever.
Well, that's how you do. You go to whatever you want, right? So you go to the top, you type in massage.
I don't even know what I want.
And then you go to the top and then you click one video, the one you like, and then it drops down other videos that are sort of like what you had. So, for instance, if the video that you were watching was like a black guy and a big, beautiful woman giving the massage, then in the next videos there might be a black guy or a big, beautiful woman in the videos that are relating to it.
Yeah, the algorithm.
Yeah, the algorithm, and that's how you know where to go.
So I fell on to, there's a lot of boss.
I like boss.
Boss with some employee,
secretary.
wife,
Get out of here.
Whatever. A lot of people let their boss bang their wives.
Yeah,
that's a popular thing.
In porno world,
I don't know
in
why
porno world, you'll invite your new secretary.
I'm like, I thought you hated your boss. You're let him bang your wife? Like, that's a weird. Anyway.
That is a weird. Hey, that's a weird.
That's a weird.
Hey, that's a weird.
It's why are there so many bosses banging their wives? Or your employee's wife?
Maisie has only been speaking in a fake Italian accent, and she keeps saying, "You got to make a pizza," and I gotta get her to stop because it's gonna end up.
You want to bang my husband or
no?
Wait, you want to bang?
I don't know. I don't know. I never thought about it.
I don't know if I do either. But I'd have to see.
What I'm gonna, there are a lot of
healthy rump.
People
You'll see it at the beach party,
banging in their offices at work or whatever the hell it is, and it's a popular thing. And that's
it is.
Yeah. Well, at least on the videos. I mean, I don't know how popular.
Another popular thing I've seen in the videos is that apparently,
cubicle,
if you're above average, financially, when you're returning the babysitter to her home, you have to pull over in the rain and boof her
before you get her home.
Before you get her home.
Yeah.
That's a rich person rule. You got to do that. Poison ivy.
Anyway, there's a lot of people at work banging that I didn't, because then it went down a rabbit hole of like security footage of people banging at work.
I don't like those.
And
well, then you always end up with the pawn shop where the guy's back. He's in the back room of the pawn shop with the
that's
the
fake.
shoplifting.
This is real.
And then they always end up with the mom. The mom's always there, and you're like, you look nothing alike. And why is the mom covered in tattoos? Doesn't even fit generationally. He doesn't even fit.
I'm saying there's actual security camera footage of people banging at work, and
the only reason that you're playing the mom is because you did more drugs and your face looks old. That's the facts.
In all the videos too, they don't have any conversation, or there's no it's like.
No, you gotta do it quick while you're on break.
It's very business-like. So then it leads me to believe they must have discussed this and planned it out.
Probably happens all the time.
Yeah, beforehand, they were like, hey, well, let's go. And because
I never got to do that at the old quarry. Never got to do it.
No.
Why would you, though? I've never dared.
I don't know. I always wanted to get one in the stairwell or something, you know? But I know most of the people that work there did. Most of the people that still work there did.
I've never
call me a liar.
Banged at work.
Well, technically, Foot Locker, you were, masturbating in the rafters. Yeah. You're like a Quasimodo up there, hanging out in the clock tower, joking around.
Yeah. That is not true.
That's a bad joke, man.
Yeah. No, that's a good joke. It lasted.
It did last.
All right.
Hey, Tom and Dan and Sam. You guys had Guy Torrey on again. He's always amazing on the show. He said he had no feelings, no conscience when he came to like controlling a crowd on stage. And no feelings, no conscience is literally no heart, no soul. Something you guys have been preaching for many years, I believe, from some guy evacuating a romantic experience with a larger lady. But yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, thank you, as always, for your good voicemails.
There's something very comforting to no heart, no soul to me, because I know what you're going to get. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With heart and soul and emotion, it could be wild fluctuations. Sorry. We're going to have to cut that. God damn it.
Yo, man. They got some wild fluctuations.
That's twice Samantha's going to.
But it's fun to say.
And then, so if you just go pure no heart, no soul, you can kind of guess what that's going to be, right? It's just all math, all logic.
I mean, I guess it's not as spontaneous, right? That's why the emotional aspect. You know, for a non-emotional person, you're relatively spontaneous.
Spontaneous has
well,
nothing
that's just
to do
because
with,
he doesn't plan anything.
Right, but he's like, he does a lot of, he's down for whatever because he has no plan.
But that's logical.
Yeah, but he also doesn't care what anybody else wants to do, so he'll just do it.
Yeah.
He's impulsive.
Well,
impulsive.
Logan
Paul.
I saw Logan Paul at the Dolphins training camp.
Oh, I thought you saw Logan Paul at the Fashion Square Mall.
No.
He was Fashion Square Paul, as he calls it.
He's at the Dolphins training camp, and
for what?
I think he was just recording some video.
It up, yeah.
Just hyping.
He's a wrestler now. He's fine.
He's
you gonna start playing football now?
No. What's weird to me is that he is basically, I guess he's way older than most of the players, but
he's just weaving his way into entertainment fabric.
Is he over 30?
25, 26?
He is 27.
Okay, so he's a little bit older than most of the players, but pretty close, right?
Oh, but they love him. They watch him.
No, I know. Yeah. They watch him.
Hey, that's Logan Paul.
Yeah, and
that's actual audio, by the way.
And there's always been something that to me would be awesome about like you being famous to a sports team that you really liked, and all the players knowing who you are, and you being the same age.
One of my favorite videos, like when Ric Flair is doing a hype video for the Atlanta Falcons, and they're all around him yelling woo, and they're literally melting, and he is a fudgy old man.
The difference is Ric Flair's a fudgy old man, and the generation gap is gigantic.
Oh,
right?
It's huge.
I like it where it's like you are basically the same age as this team. They all know who you are. You're famous enough to be there. They invited you out there because you got such a media power that the organization just wants you to hype the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? It's like they invite you out. You throw, they throw a couple passes to you, or you're meeting the players or whatever. But it's like that is pretty awesome to be the same age as the players on the team and be that successful. They invited you down. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a shame he picked such a lame team.
Is he from Miami?
Falcons fan.
I don't know. Is he a Falcons fan? I mean, I
said you're a Falcons fan. You're saying calling Dolphins lame.
They are. I'm just saying. Look, I mean, don't
Falcons. If he was on a Falcons training camp, it would waste his time.
This guy's getting his emotions involved here.
At least we have some good players.
I thought he didn't have any.
No, what I'm saying, it doesn't make any sense. It's not logical for Logan Paul to go there. It's logical for him to go pick the team that's got the most amount of yank and go there and talk to that training camp.
He must be a Miami fan or whatever it is.
It would make more sense.
He's from Ohio, but I don't know.
You better get the Buffalo, get on some of the Bills Mafia guys. That's where it's at.
And that's changed a long time ago. It's similar to like Daniel being a fan of the Falcons. It had nothing to do with where he grew up.
I feel like most people, it doesn't really have anything to do with it.
Most people I know that are around here, you're the only local Dolphins fan that I like from
Miami.
2 people. Yeah, it's from Miami. I have 2 people that are like that. Most of my friends are like, everybody I know is like a Steelers fan. Almost everyone I know is like a GD Steelers fan.
Well, people now just choose the team they want to follow, which is kind of lame. I feel like
do what you want.
I know, but I feel like you should.
There's no Orlando team, so I went Tampa.
That's true.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
I think that's logical. Fine. Like, that would be my team.
Went Jaguars, I guess.
That would have been my team had I not had a story, but I have a story. So
I feel
do you think I'm lame for having a story?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. I already knew the answer to that.
Yeah.
I already knew
Atlanta's
the answer to that.
too far. They gave you some stinky football cards. Who cares?
I wish they would have given you baseball cards. That'd be funny.
Hilarious if Deion Sanders sent back a baseball card, but not even his.
Right.
If you're, grew up in Central Florida, I feel like you got to go Tampa or Miami. No matter
what.
No one goes Jacksonville. Like,
what if you move? You got to go with where you grew up.
Yes.
Now, would it surprise you?
You're stuck with the team that you have, and then that's it.
Would it surprise you that most of my friends, and I think it was really because of it being new. Most of my buddies, if they didn't already have a football team, as soon as the Jaguars organization came to town, they were like, "That's my team."
Or
so, like newer NFL fans that are from Florida, like chose Jacksonville. At least my friends did.
A lot of people choose whatever their parents are into.
Correct.
So like if their dad is into a
That's
team,
why you get so many Steelers around here and so many Packers around here.
I'm trying to indoctrinate my sons to only
Do they care?
follow the Dolphins. They're starting to. Tommy now.
You got to take them to a game.
Here's why they care, though. They care only because
they make it look like they care to you.
Yes, that and to scam some more time before bedtime. Because
now you guys are watching plays together?
Stay up and watch football with Daddy.
Yes,
Miami Dolphins highlights?
No. Like games, like Sunday
games
night
in general.
like Sunday night football. Like they remember from last year if they would scam or manipulate me by saying, "Hey, can we watch a couple plays with you?"
Yeah.
Or can we watch some football?
Maisie does it with baseball. She's like, I want to watch the Braves. And it's such a scam.
I enjoy it so much. And they're actually watching it because they're just scamming some extra time before they have to go to bed. But it works every time. So now they're looking forward to the scam again.
I like it.
And
you know what? We're down for the scam, too.
Yeah.
As dads, we're down for the scam.
Because it's like that time where they're sitting next to me and then like actively watching. And then they're listening.
Dude.
I'm teaching them about it, which I never get to do.
Dude, you figured out why. You literally are describing why most young boys and girls get into football. It originally starts out as a bedtime scam. I think I probably ran that scam when my dad was up watching football.
I think that's you're like you try to
you have to
pretend
You're
interest.
I'll watch Falcon Crest with my mom if I got an extra 15 minutes. Look that up, dumb old man.
Falcon Crest?
Look up Falcon Crest. It was like on after Dallas.
Oh, and then my sons, because I told them I'd play Roblox with them this weekend, but I told them they had to come out and I was going to show them some of my plants first. They pretended to be interesting.
Hold on.
I love this.
Wait a minute.
Roblox for plants.
That's what's happening?
He's trading. You take them out and you give them a little orientation
You're
on a
forcing
plant.
them to look at your plants and then you reward them.
Then they force him to play Roblox. They both hate it. They're literally the most miserable they've ever been. They come outside and he's like, "This is the pothos," and he walks and gives a little orientation to the plants, and then they hate it. Then they come inside,
but they pretend to be interested,
and they are roadblocking their balls off, and you're miserable. You hate every second of Roblox.
The games are stupid.
I know they are dumb. They're really dumb.
They think your plants are stupid.
I know.
They are. They're really both of them.
They're right. They're both
right.
I'm like, what is this? And they're like, you got to dodge Sonic. And I'm like, Sonic? You mean Sonic?
No,
like,
Sonic the Hedgehog with like Santa Claus and blood all over him.
Satanic Sonic.
No, like this is the Sonic the crazy man from the first movie drew the crazy homeless guy that goes saying that there was a blue devil around, and like it's the they took the drawing of
and they turned it into a creature.
And they turned it into a creature that just chases you in some sort of level, and the whole thing is just you running around.
Run from Sonic.
And then when he kills you,
you know what
but
that
there's
is
no
horrible.
goal that you don't catch it, you don't get any points. I'm like, what's the point? I'm like, where do you?
Don't ask that. They're going to ask the same thing. They're going to ask you, what's the point of these plants? You guys are trapped in a conundrum. What if they both equal the same? Plants are just analog Roblox, right? That's all it is.
It's all
Roblox digital. Plants analog. This is my voicemail of the week.
Hey guys, Hilton Head BDM again. I got one for you. I was Ubering again, and I had a couple on a 40-minute ride. And everything was fine. I was driving. It was in the last 3 minutes of this ride that it was raining a little bit. Now I have Rain-X on my windows.
Rain-X on your windows. What is it? 1986? Oh my God! Do you also have street glow?
They were moving fast enough that it was beating up and moving off the window, but it wasn't even 2. It was not a heavy rain. And I could see fine. I have perfect vision, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was fine. Everything was fine. And all of a sudden, the lady kind of condescendingly says, "Oh, I guess your wipers are broken." And I said, "No." And I put them on for a moment and turned them off again. And then a minute later, she said, now I usually am very nice to these people, but I was feeling spicy, so to speak. And a minute later, she says, "Do you mind if we put the wipers on?" And I said, "Why would I can see, why would I need to put the wipers on?" And she's like, I don't like it. It's scaring me. And you're not driving. Now, so I just want your guys' take on that. Is
backseat driving in an Uber?
Not the fact that I could have just put them on and been done with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, path of least resistance, Tom Van Method. Why are you going to get into a D-out contest with this lady? Just put your wipers on and get her the hell out of your car.
Well,
yeah,
and that's coming from me. I want to yell at her too.
It sounds
she's
like
annoying, but
you picked up my wife.
Wow, why you gotta do that, man?
She would say something like that.
Oh,
would she
if
really?
Well, I don't know about the Uber driver.
She'd say it
she
to
holds
you.
her tongue when it comes to other people. Like I'm like, it doesn't Bart hate you? That's an asshole. And I shouldn't have the same, because I just assume. I'm just messing around.
To our video editor, Melissa, if you're looking for a Sam looking at me giving a face to the camera, that was the one right there. Wow, you blew Sam's hair off.
I'm just joking. Because
that fixed it.
I just assumed that she talks
Just
like everybody
kidding.
to everybody like she talks to me. As far as when I'm driving, she damn sure tells me
She does a lot of
what I'm doing wrong.
It's the
what's
number
scaring
one
her,
argument me and Andrea get into in the car.
how close I'm following the car in
Yes.
front of me. I'm not going fast enough. Going jerking her around.
Okay,
That's true.
I don't have enough time
I'm
to
making
really
a car
do this.
sick.
Maybe on the Friday Free Show we can get Andrea on and talk about this. But what I have found is that my wife likes to tell me what to do, and I don't like for her to tell me what to do. So then we get into fights, right? So she'll tell me what to do, like where to go, like she'll give me directions on how to get there, and it makes me mad that she does that. And then we get into a fight. But what's happening is I need that, right? So then she chooses not to do it, and then I don't know what the hell to do because I don't have the knowledge because I'm not smart.
My wife.
My
will. I'll be driving
My God,
down
I thought you were
I-4,
doing the
right?
old Clint Eastwood president of my
wife.
Where's my empty chair?
You point at the empty chair.
We'll be going down I-4, and then
Looking mighty fine.
we'll pass an exit, and she's like, "You're supposed to get off there."
Yeah, that's
and
what
then,
Andrea does. Hold on, that's exactly
And
what
then I'll be
Andrea
like,
does.
"Why do you tell me?" She's like, "Because you yell at me for telling you how to
That's
drive."
what Andrea says.
And then I'm like, "Well, this was the time when you." I'm
oh
like,
my God.
"What you just
Do you guys
did?"
not use like a navigation?
No, not if it's something I've been to 3 times. I only use
I always
navigation
use
for new
navigation.
places, and then it's all in the computer upstairs.
So would you rather her just let you pass it and then never say anything?
No,
I'd
just
like
tell
her
me.
to calmly say, like, "Hey, excuse me,
'Cause-
best person that I love so much. Like, this is your exit."
Because I'm like,
And then you're like, I know it's my exit.
but do you?
No, you got to give me a compliment. You got to be like, "Excuse
Well, that's
me,
how
sir."
she hears
You know what
it.
I want my
Yeah.
wife to do? I want her to go, "Excuse me, sir," and I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "This is your exit." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
I want it like business.
Because what I get mad at is her scrutinizing tiny things like me following too close to the car in front of me or not passing.
That's not that tiny.
Like all these.
My car does that. It
These-
tells me all the things.
And then it's like, but you knew I was going to pass the exit. Now we're both late or have to go a long way around. Like, you're hurting
Principle.
yourself.
Yeah.
It was like, well, that's the one that drives me crazy because, like, you're
He hates
hurting.
principles.
And then see what
You're
happens.
hurting yourself by not just telling me.
And then see what
You
happens.
did it on
is-
purpose so you can see me fail, and then bring up the point how I constantly bitch that you tell me too much how to drive. So you hurt yourself to prove a point, which is insane. That's all.
Oh, by the way, I fully support hurting yourself to prove a point. 'Cause I'm,
Yeah.
Well, you're
principled,
insane.
Yeah, I'm that type of
You're
person.
insane.
Yeah, I'm an insane person. But I will say that when Andrea and I are having these moments and we're arguing, the thing that I hate the most is that now I've missed the exit and now I don't know where to go and now I have to ask her what to do
and she has
to
to look
get
it
back.
up. Yeah.
Right? And I don't want to do that.
I mean, it ends up just me telling her just drive all the time, like because you just drive. I'll sit here and I'll shut up. I will look at my phone, or most of the time I can't do that. I'll just stare straight ahead. And and you drive, and that's fine.
Wait, what happens if you look at your phone in the passenger seat? You get yelled at?
Well, yeah,
you're allowed
when
you're non-driving.
Hold on, you're allowed to do that, right? Or no?
No. Well, she'll say like, "You don't want to talk to me."
Oh, yeah. Well, see,
my
that's
God.
what
I thought she hates
getting.
listening to you.
So that's
Sam, do you understand the pyramid of insanity that has been built over me?
It's getting worse.
That's what I was getting to. Is that Andrea and I will get to a point where we've argued about like the exit. We already missed it. I'm yelling, she's yelling, and then we decide to hit a point of silent treatment, right? But then
so everybody's quiet,
and then everybody's quiet till we get there, which then I got to work through it.
Oh
man,
yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. They need I need a more indiscreet AirPod. Something.
No, you need a more discreet.
Yeah, and
not
more
indiscreet.
Indiscreet would be like you're hiding it. Like
you heard what I said. You heard what I said.
Okay.
I said what I said. I want an indiscreet AirPod. I want an indiscreet ear pod.
I want a full white helmet that fits onto my head.
Stormtrooper
that can
helmet.
get into my own world.
Hey, we used to have an employee here that can paint you one.
Indiscreet.
I have been asked on the Reddit page that we have. We have a Reddit page. I've been asked to limit the amount of Zach from Ohio voicemails that we play because he is hated. This guy said, he went on to say in our Reddit page that he met Zach on a cruise, and it was that moment when he met Zach on a cruise that he realized Zach is just trailer trash and he hates him.
Okay,
this was all said on Reddit.
I take offense to that. I'm trailer trash.
I said we all are. This whole show was built on trailer trash.
I'm not trailer trash.
But okay, fair enough. But I thought this was a really good voicemail. Here we go.
Hey gang, it's Zach from Ohio. Do you guys ever go to a midnight release for a video game and like go to your Best Buy and it's open at midnight and get your game? The last time I did it was Dead Island in 2011. Not a very good game. I only play digital games nowadays, so I don't go to stores.
Yeah, me too. I have been one of the midnight release video game guys. I, too, have been one of the midnight release album guys, where a record was being released and I really wanted it, so...
I've done none of that. Haven't done Black Friday, haven't been to any kind of release.
Never camped out for concert tickets or any of that? That's
weird.
That's an old person thing.
I would think that there would be some concert ticket that you would actually
I feel like most of the musicians I listen to, there's not that much of a need to camp out. I mean, maybe when I was in like middle school, like Backstreet Boys, but I didn't camp out. I just showed up in the morning at East West Records and stood around the building until they opened.
Yeah, I mean,
back when there was physical Ticketmaster offices.
I guess camping out would mean like it really depends on how into the band you are, maybe, and how prepared you wanted to be. Because there was a scenario.
And now you just buy them all online. So
well, if you can get them.
Yeah.
I mean, like if it's a big artist, like I'd say, like a pop music artist, let's say like Elton John. I mean, good luck. You have to get online, you have to get in queue, and sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't.
And don't they actually do set aside a certain amount of tickets in person so that the camping out still happens?
It's a lot less than they used to, but yes.
Yeah.
And like, I obviously, the answer. I've never done any of this because I've never been into something.
Grand Theft Auto I did.
I
think it was Vice City was like the last one that I would have been at the midnight release. It was the one that was set in Miami. Kind of like the one that was like loosely based after Scarface.
I could talk myself out of all this stuff, like even something that I actually like.
Now I can't. I did it for Apple. Oh, I did it for the iPhone. That was my big ones. And you guys knew me, or at least Tom did.
Yeah, you'd take off work.
Yeah, I would take off work to go get the iPhone, get the new one.
Did you camp overnight?
Not overnight. I get there like 4 in the morning or something like that. I wouldn't do that now, though. You just get it online.
Yeah.
Well, that's what everything is now, right? Although the tent on the sidewalk does show a little more commitment.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you
set up a tent.
You deserve it.
And then you look inside there, and there's not even like anything. It's like, well, you're just going to use an umbrella, right? Like, why do you have like a tent on the sidewalk?
Well, you don't want people seeing you masturbating.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. You know this. You know this better than anyone on this show.
Well, then it's just a hammer hand hut, right? We just get in there.
Which is a failed business I started a couple years ago.
All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Joey Mazant is here.
Hey! He's Orlando's Kiefer Sutherland.
So, Joey, we're going into September. I imagine
that's when the pumpkins come out.
I mean, we're in September.
Pumpkins are out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it's the beginning part of it.
Sam's got her pumpkins out already.
Oh yeah.
I'm not. You know what? How dare you?
When do they start?
She has her Halloween decorations out already.
Already?
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I wasn't.
you're
You thought I
crazy
was making
like Daniel.
You thought I was making a boob joke. I was
You
not.
can't put them out all in September.
No,
They're
out.
her pumpkins. She can do what she wants to with them.
They're out and about.
If she wants to put them out now, if she wants to go home and suck her pumpkins,
Yeah,
she
but-
can. They're hers.
Okay, well, you could do whatever you want.
That's called.
And I support that.
That's
you.
called fan service.
Actually-
what I just did. That's called fan service. That's when
I
you
lied.
give them what they want.
I lied because I said I'll support it. You could do whatever you want, but I then can make fun of you if
Sure.
you do it.
I'm not making fun of her. I too think it's a little early, but then I sat and I thought about it. I also
I'm
thought-
you're
milking
early
this for
Christmas.
2 months.
I am early Christmas, and the fact that she did it just means that she wants to get more value out of it, and I support it.
Exactly.
I support it.
Now,
You're just a fun killer, dude.
well, you're taking the value away,
No.
right? Because you're
You're providing more value for yourself.
well, but by
She can look at her pumpkins more often, look at her
Exactly.
skeletons and the tombstones and all the spider webs and everything she got out. Instead of getting 1 month out of it, she gets 2 months out of it.
Spooky season.
More fun.
Well, it's like no one ever gives you the advice. Hey, you should have married your wife 10 years earlier. Like we don't
She
like,
can look better. That's a better. That's smart.
Yeah. Well, then you.
Fat Mike, if he wanted to wear lingerie, he should do it 10 years earlier than he did it now. It'll feel better because it'll be a younger body.
Well, my point being, you look at something every day, and it takes a little bit away from it by the amount of time
You know what?
you're
People
looking at
say
it.
that, but every time I see my wife, it's like seeing her for the first time.
Like if you,
That's beautiful, man.
Isn't it?
That's beautiful.
where's the
Thank
line? Like, why not put
No
it up
line.
in
Time's a construct.
Yeah, no line.
Well, you
no
put it-
panty line, not wearing panties.
But you put your Halloween decorations. Why don't you do it after July 4th?
Maybe I will.
And then,
Yeah.
well, then there's
Who
two.
are you to
But
tell
There's
her
nothing
not
going
to?
on in
Yeah.
August anyway.
doesn't it take what's
You know what? That's a
special
good,
about it
that's
away?
a good idea.
Yeah.
Next year, she's putting her pumpkins out in
I'm
August.
gonna have Christmas in July and then go straight to spooky season.
Hot pumpkin.
But then it's too long. It's like the person that has the year-round Christmas house. It's too.
I
like,
want a
it
year-round
takes-
Christmas tree. I was outvoted.
It takes what's special about Christmas
I
and that time
wanted-
away, and then now he's like
Maybe
it's
for
every
you.
day.
Maybe for you, but maybe like for me, I wanted to do the year-round Christmas tree, but Andrea outvoted me and said that it was trashy.
Well, it's not. It takes the what's special about the Christmas tree away.
Not if you
and just-
decorate it every month for a different holiday.
There you go.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have, for August, I'd have little ornaments of bad drinking water in Mississippi and hot ornaments, steaming hot sunshines.
For me, we used to put a sombrero on it and throw Mardi Gras beads at it, and it was cool.
But
Yeah,
then
see?
it takes what the Christmas tree represents, and it being like a special time of year, and like oh, it's time for the Christmas tree. We got 3
I thought you
weeks.
hate traditions. You should be all about this.
Yeah, the
we're
chat room-
manipulating traditions.
Christine in our chat room
Yeah,
said,
but I'm into
Tom
getting-
thinks I love you diminishes the meaning of the words, doesn't he? And the answer to that is yes.
Of course it
only
does.
so
He
many
is.
I loves you.
He-
love yous you can
He
give out.
is one of those guys.
Well, isn't that the base of?
I say I love you to my family way more than I should. Like I'm constantly like, I love you, don't leave me, please.
It's
You
the
know, like
boy
I'm-
who cried wolf, right? It's the
the boy who cried love.
the
Tom
age
Van Story.
old lesson that if you just say something, no one's going to believe you after a certain amount of time. If you just say, "Hey, there's a wolf," if you lie 10 times in a row,
there's a wolf.
they're not going to believe you in the 11th time, right?
If you
when
said
there
it
really
like that,
is a
I
wolf.
would not believe you. If I was in here and somebody opened our door and said, "Hey, there's a wolf," I'd be like, "Get out of here! I'm calling the cops."
If you just say you love everybody you meet, then what's the "I love you" to your wife? Does it mean the same thing you said "I love you" to Joey or
Aw.
some bum that on the
Honored.
street?
Oh, now
No,
you
it
compare me
would
to a
mean
bum,
more to
something.
Joey
Well, you'd
because
have to be
I say
lying if you said it to Joey and you didn't mean
no.
it.
I love Joey as a
Aw.
friend.
well, the boy who
I mean,
cries wolf there was no wolf, so he was lying. So are you saying you're lying when you say I love you?
Well, I'm saying that you can't love Joey as much as you love your wife.
It doesn't have to be the same amount of love.
Depends on
It's
what
a different
Joey
kind of
provides.
love.
Yeah, like, hold on a second.
Are
Don't
you
tell me
giving
what
a
to
measure?
get.
What is
How do you
Joey
know?
providing for me and my family? I don't know what he's.
I need to know what your love
Yeah,
meter
what are you
is.
bringing to the table? If you bring more than my wife, then logic would dictate that I love you more.
Are you a 1095 love meter?
Yeah,
Or are you a
where
195?
you
I'm all the
at,
way to
Joey?
the top. I'm the highest you can
yeah,
do.
he's a 1095er, so I don't know.
Well,
buddy.
that you can quantify with money. I know the 1095s because they pay 1095.
Well, it's quadrants of your heart, Tom.
Yeah.
But how? Like,
How much of your heart you giving to Joey?
when you say
Can you give me $11 worth of love a month, Tom?
Hey, Joey Massett.
what's going on at the parks?
It's Halloween, bro. It's that time of year where everybody's dressed in black and showing up at the parks, and witches and warlocks and wizards, oh my. And
Too hot.
Oh my God, you dumbasses! You go on there
dressed like
a
Dracula.
witch.
Yeah, but you're walking around. It is 98 degrees outside.
The thing,
They're not playing this year.
I got to be honest with you. I like Dapper Day. Fully support it. I love seeing the people that go out there and they do their Disney-inspired costuming and they walk around. Love Dapper Day. Love it. But I have never understood dressing up to go to Disney World or Universal during Halloween.
Oh,
I just
I'm
don't
doing
get
it. I'm doing it this Sunday. I can't wait.
I don't get it.
Oh, yeah. Not so scary.
This early?
Oh, yeah. Not so scary Halloween party.
It's too early.
Well, if you go earlier, it's not as scary.
Like what?
Yeah.
Not so scary.
That's
yeah.
the thing. Yeah, if you go in June, it's like, yeah, it's not scary at all because there's no Halloween around.
Like what if like the schools or all the teens got together
Yes.
and said,
Go on.
hey, well, let's do a dance every weekend
Where the girls
for-
choose the guys, and we'll call it the Sadie Hawkins dance.
No, we'll dress in our tuxedos and you'll get the best gown and whatever. Let's do a fancy dance.
Fancy dance.
Fancy dance.
20 times before actual prom. When you get to prom,
You practice.
no, but it takes how special prom it is that one day
are you
away.
saying
Where you're like, I
that-
did this 20 other times.
Oh, you're back to railing on Sam for celebrating, more and more Halloween in September.
Well, same thing with the parks, too.
What are you dressing as?
I haven't decided yet. It's either going to be Maleficent or
Oh, okay. So
Dr.
it's-
Facilier.
So, Dr.
Oh,
Facilier.
rad. Gender bend. Nice.
Yeah.
Who's Dr. Facilier?
He's the
Princess and the
villain
Frog.
from Princess and the Frog.
Oh, okay.
He got that sweet New Orleans
Voodoo
accent.
doctor.
Oh, okay, all right.
Never do that voice again.
Sorry.
New Orleans, baby.
So
Like Dusty Rhodes straightening one out.
Trav's going to be Mr. Smee.
Oh, that's rad.
Okay, that's a good one. Is he going to be
Or
fat?
Donald.
Is he going to fat?
Yeah, the
fat-
fat-
I
the
don't think so.
fat
I
pirate?
think he's going to be hot, Mr.
Mr.
Smee.
Snee's fat. Now, no offense to him being hot Mr. Snee, but all hot Mr. Snee is gay Mr. Snee. You know that, right? Because if you go to Disney dressed as Mr. Snee and you look like your husband, you look like a gay guy going there to look for other gay guys.
it's gay sneak.
Yeah, it's a gay Snee.
So when do they make? Is it September 1st or like after Labor? When do they do?
August 12th.
Yep.
August 12th.
Well, that's this
Yeah.
year. This is the
They
earliest
started
they've done
it
yeah.
August 12th?
Yeah, dude, it's 6 weeks this year. Halloween Horror Nights is 2 months long this year.
When does Halloween Horror Nights start?
Just started.
Oh,
It started this past weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
But it's funny because
Wow, okay, yeah, I mean, I see it, but I'm
Like you
okay.
go out and-
I'm gonna say something that might affect the show from here on out. I'm actually agreeing with Tom. Like, it feels like I have to agree with you 1,000% on this.
Follow me
Because
here.
this feels weird.
It's money, guys.
It feels
It's
early.
not that hard to
No,
figure out.
I mean, we know that
know.
it's money, but it does. Okay, I am
But
kind of
there's a-
with you. It does takes
Well-
takes a little bit away. The heat. It's the heat that takes it away.
Does this follow the same, I guess, trend as Black Friday did? And follow me
Bingo.
here. Where remember when Black Friday started earlier and earlier, where then it became
Well, it
started
killed
the
itself.
whole month.
Thursday
yeah.
night,
It killed itself.
and then we got to a point
not a thing now.
where it was the week prior. We're like, we're starting our Black Friday on Monday. And then it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, this,
And
that's
then
what
we
takes
made
a
these
whole.
new things, Cyber Monday.
Cyber Monday.
And, but
yeah.
then it stopped.
It ate itself.
and then it regressed back to the original. Or
I don't think people care anymore.
Amazon-
Every day is
Amazon
Black
took
Friday.
over.
Every day is Black Friday.
Amazon is like, we sell Black Friday prices
Every day.
straight. We'll deliver it to you free.
And the better thing about it, and I found that out this
You
weekend.
gonna poop in a bucket in the Walmart parking lot, or do you want this for free, same day, same price?
Yeah, well, no, even better, the returns. I found out I used a actual consumer, a brick and mortar store this weekend. It was returning something. It was the absolute most horrible, like a decision I've made in the last 10 years. Like Amazon, doesn't matter what you did with, you could have used it and hated it, and just they don't ask for any reason. Why are you taking it back? They don't ask you. They're just like, we'll take it back. I had this guy who was like, why do you not want this pressure washer? I was like, it doesn't work. Well, I'm gonna have to test it to make sure you're not lying to me. I'm like, God damn it, Amazon, you got it right. You got it right. I hate to say that you're right, but Tom, and I'm gonna look you in the eyes when I say it, you're right.
Thank you. I've been waiting for that.
Here's the compromise with it.
All morning.
It's the time. That's funny. The time of the year is one thing, but it's the time of the day with these that throws me off, because you're going to Halloween horror nights. You're supposed to be terrified, and you roll in at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. The lights are still on.
There's
and
less
I'm like,
people, Joey.
No, but it's like there's the bad guy right there. Like I see him, the guy that's supposed to jump out and scare me. He's right there. It's too bright. You got to wait till it gets dark. They need to wait until like 7:30.
What if it's called Halloween Horror Brights?
Yes,
You got
I'm
me
into
there.
it.
Yeah, that's
So-
sound logic.
It's all Halloween. Now, let's talk about that. If you're going to celebrate Halloween at the parks, is it better to do it early? Do you get a better
Cheaper.
Yes, a lot
experience?
cheaper.
How much cheaper? What are we
Cheaper and
talking?
less crowds.
About 25 to 30% cheaper per ticket.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
So
I think I saved $40 by booking it this
Dude,
weekend.
all right,
$40 because that
Per
factors,
ticket.
Yeah, what that factors into your drink. $80. I mean, that's a decent sizing. That's a meal, some drinks.
Well, see, now you're
$80
talking
is a lot of money.
because if you do want to have a Halloween night at the parks,
I also don't just reserve dressing up at the parks for Halloween. I dress up all the time.
No, I know. I'm just giving you S, but
I get so much candy.
I do think. Oh, do you go around and ask
Yeah,
for
you
candy?
trick or treat, and they give you.
I mean, you can.
I will
you
never
know.
fully bag on Mickey's Not So Scary because
Oh,
out
they
of
give you
all,
so much candy.
it's the
You should
value,
not-
right? If you like candy, and if
But as an adult, you can't do that.
but
You
if you're
can.
a kid,
You
yeah,
absolutely
you
can.
I did.
They don't discriminate.
No,
It says it on the
I
dedication.
ran
Oh,
a
it's
bag.
embarrassing.
No, it's not.
No,
Everybody's doing it.
I
Everybody.
just want a Kit Kat.
Every adult I saw there was walking around with a bag. At least the
Everyone's
year I went, in
participating.
my group, everybody had a bag.
As an adult, you ask for candy
Yeah,
from
because
another
it's
adult.
No, from Disney, dude. It's not from another. It's literally
Yeah,
there.
no, but,
Truckloads of candy.
But the adult is giving it out.
Yeah, but it's a lady dressed like those ladies on Main Street that wear the blue stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, they look like a hospital lady.
trick or treating's for kids.
It's not there.
Tom, you're looking at it from Dad Pop eyes.
Yeah.
And you sound just like my old man, my
You know,
grandfather.
Walt Disney said there's no age limit.
Yeah.
For children
Everyone's
of all
a
ages
kid.
come to live and play.
Well, that's
the
what R.
joke.
Kelly
Right.
said. Too. No, look at him.
He didn't quite say that.
And I'm gonna say, if R. Kelly had full-size Kit Kats, I'd have a bag.
He definitely knew the difference between adults, and he chose the kids.
I'm saying I'm there walking around carrying a bag of candy, going up to another adult dressed as a witch and be like, "Give me candy, please."
They don't even look you in the eyes.
They just drop the
They have a
candy.
job to do, and they will grab a handful of chocolate bars and just put bars in your bag.
But there's a kid standing in line behind me. I'm a
It's not really a
40-year-old
line.
No,
man.
dude, there's no line.
It moves really fast because they just need it. It appears as if Disney has so much candy, they just need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's
What adult wants candy?
me.
Honestly, I just give it to my nephew who I take with me, and then he gets double candy. I give him my bag. and
I
the
can
other
also
thing.
give it out to the trick-or-treaters that
Yeah,
come by my
it's-
house.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Last year I dressed up as Pitbull. I shaved my head and I wore the white suit. Walked around the park.
That's good.
It was I just kept saying Dale, and they were like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny. Here's more candy." I'm like Dale, and I walked away.
So don't shave your head if
yeah.
you're a white dude. It's just that-
This year he's gonna dress as Jesse Smollett.
So-
see how this
Oh,
goes.
oh, no.
See how this goes.
They're gonna say Daughtry and keep it funny. No, you went
could do
dark.
Daughtry.
You went dark with it. No, I
But
appreciate
nobody would know who Daughtry is. He's Daughtry is right.
it. You know, I'm going
People
home.
don't know who Daughtry is now.
No, I'm going home to the place where I belong.
Is there anything special that they do on actual Halloween night? Like
No.
October 31st is different than any other day. See, I don't like that either.
I don't
Like,
either.
If you go on Halloween night, there should be
You should
some
get
other.
to see something that you'll never see, but like you get to see.
Like, it should be a prize.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, like something that's like only special to like for the true Halloween purists that only go on Halloween night. They should get something special.
If I go on September 18th, it's no different than October 31st.
This is ridiculous.
I know. I
Because
agree.
even if you stay into the parks to a certain hour, you know, at night, they have those flame cannons out on the lagoon, and they got to burn off all that gas. So they'll make this announcement, and they'll be like, ladies and gentlemen, no. And then they make this announcement that they've got to burn off the flames. So if you're in there really late, you get to see them burn it off. And it's like something that nobody else gets to see, right?
Yeah,
And it's
something.
super cool.
And that's why whenever you go to a Mardi Gras at Universal Studios, you'll always see people standing right before the floats go in because those people are like, oh, I guess we were a little bit too tight with the beads. So then they start dumping boxes of beads out on the people at the very end. So you know if you're right before they go in, you're going to get thousands of beads in 5 seconds.
Because they got to clear the float.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of trick or hack as far as like costuming? For instance, is there a way to use the time of year where you can wear costumes? Because there's actually rules as far as you can't wear a full mask. Like
you can't any other time.
No,
it has to be at the Halloween party.
Yeah.
If you're an adult.
The term is called bounding, and I'm sure you know what that is.
You can do bounding where it's just basically like color coding. It's not an actual costume.
Like as a female, if you wear a blue dress with a white apron, it's like, oh, you're Belle. No, I'm not. I just kind of look like her. And it's like the reason why they do that is because the youngest Disney princess is Snow White. She's only 14. So once you're 14 years of age or older, you're not allowed to dress in a costume because you could technically look more like the prince, princess, or person than the person in the park.
They don't want confusion.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. If I dress like a dwarf, and
you're too tall.
I don't think they're. Yeah, I probably am. barely.
Yeah, like, look, it's sneezy. So you now when you can wear a costume for Halloween, is there what's the rule as far as how elaborate can it be?
It's anything goes, but no masks. You can't cover your face. But that's only at Disney. Universal.
What if you're disgusting?
They're going to think it's an actual prosthetic.
No, I feel like if you're disgusting, you should be allowed. Because we're not it's got to work both ways, right? It's got to be like if you're like a real life Freddy Krueger and they're out there. I feel like you're allowed to wear your mask.
Just to cover your face.
Yeah, I don't think people are going to give you any business.
Is it your one time?
I mean, they also made us wear face masks for 2 years, so you'd think maybe they're more lax on it this year.
Well, you just got to get the yeah.
It's really funny. It's like
it's a good point.
No mask. What?
You are
forcing you not to wear one.
Summer 2020.
They were selling them.
I was trying to smoke it. You're yelling to put my mask on. So, is there any hack or any sort of advantage to being able to wear a costume during this time of year?
Not an advantage. I mean, you can just do it if you're a
sneak
fan of.
in some camel sack.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about.
You can do that anyway.
I mean, depending on what you're wearing, I mean, I could line my entire outfit with hot dogs if you like.
I'm just saying, it'd be easier. I guess you got to walk through the same metal detectors, but
I can bring in all kinds of stacks. I can fill my underwear with fiddle faddle.
I've seen a guy who had the thing where you squeeze the handle and it looks like there's blood pumping in the body cavity of the chest piece.
We know those are fake.
Well, he filled his with vodka. And he just ended up drinking out of it and took the straw from his hand and he pretended he was pumping the blood and he was like, it was.
Yeah, I don't like those people when they get too creative.
You could have just put a plastic flask in your pocket.
We call those the alcoholic MacGyvers.
Exactly. We got this guy you could have just smoked it in a toot pen, but instead, you've what do you got under your scream mask? Oh, a whole bong. It's too much.
So, is there any special rides or shows? Like I remember
the parade.
Parade's cool.
The parade is really, man, between the candy and the parade, it's pretty darn awesome.
They got Zombie Dapper Dans that sing.
Yep. And the nighttime show. Here's another one that I got to get because I'm probably going to get 3 different attitudes about this. What's the deal with Hocus Pocus? Is it a national treasure? Is it overrated? How do we feel about that movie?
It's just super nostalgic. Yeah. I love it, but I grew up with it.
It's great. It is fueled by nostalgia. So
all right, because it's just
it's not my favorite thing.
I think it's more of a young girls kind of thing, like watching it as a kid. More like Goonies is. I think Goonies is pretty universal, but there was Now and Then, right? That's the coming of age for girls. And this is kind of like the girls' Halloween movie.
I want to understand it, but I don't get it.
You won't. It's just like you'll never understand the sisterhood of the traveling pants, but I do. It's my favorite movie.
Right.
Fair enough. Because they're bringing that show is at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, but it's a big deal this year because that movie's coming out. They're doing a sequel to Hocus Pocus 20 years later or whatever it was.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Have I bitched about the Hocus Pocus trailer here on the show? I'm pretty sure I have, though.
I don't remember.
I'll listen.
I don't think so.
I don't think I've heard you bitch about that.
Are you going to bitch about the Roomba?
If you go to the Hocus Pocus movie, I think it's on Disney Plus. But if you click on the trailer, it's just a clip from the middle of the movie. Instead of actually a culmination of
you have
clips.
mentioned this.
Oh, this is like what used to happen when they set up the guy on Carson, and they'd roll the clip, and they'd have no idea what the clip was, and it'd just be something from the beginning, and they'd be like, "I'm sorry, I know." Like I missed that golden age of TV when nobody knew what the clip was.
And I don't know if they never made a proper trailer for Hocus Pocus, but it seems weird.
That's such a big vehicle that I'm with. Again, this is the second time I'm agreeing with you today. It's very weird that they would not make a proper trailer for that. They're Disney.
And Disney's unlimited money. Yeah. Plus, it's a pop culture icon movie. The super popular.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Mandalorian didn't have a proper trailer. Are you crazy? That thing's had that trailer was probably more scrutinized than anything.
Yeah, for real.
So then I know it's an old movie, and maybe but you think they just put a trailer together?
Oh, you mean the original Hocus Pocus?
Yes, yeah. The original, from the what is it, the 80s?
No,
90 something, 98, 6. So, I don't know, but
I'll check Disney Plus because
you.
Maybe there was a glitch in the system because that sounds odd. There's definitely a trailer for Hocus Pocus.
Well, why didn't you go to Disney Plus and you click on the trailer?
I'm gonna test that tonight.
Because I was showing my boys like a couple years ago, like, oh, Hocus Pocus, they're like this, kids or whatever, and then I clicked on the trailer. It's just a random bizarro clip from the middle of the movie that had no really reference on what the movie was about, or it wasn't like 3 witches going on, it's just the clip from the middle of the movie.
I like your
that was good,
your trailer voice. Is Hocus Pocus? Do they kidnap a man?
They bring one back from the dead.
A man?
They bring one back from the dead.
And they're gonna marry this man?
You talking about the new one?
Yeah, no, in the old one.
No, they weren't gonna marry him.
What witch movie am I thinking of where the witches capture a man?
Is that Practical Magic?
Yeah, I think I get Hocus Pocus and Practical Magic mixed up because I believe that this is how normally things work in Danville. I got that mixed up, and I always thought that the Hocus Pocus witches were trying to like bring a man home, and then they like made him. They were horny. I thought they were horny.
Well, there's a hot one.
There's a hot one. There's a fat one, and then there's the weird one.
Yeah.
I've seen that website too.
Right. Yeah. Hot, fat, and weird. I'm on there every night.
So, anything else with the parks, Joey?
Yeah, the single most, and I want to get the day right so I don't get grilled. The single greatest thing that has ever happened to Disney in 50 years is taking place on September 13th. You can get liquor in the Magic Kingdom.
What?
It's finally happening, kids.
Oh, my God.
All my childhood dreams come true. All the sit-down and dine restaurants. You no longer have to drink the one beer, the one light beer, or the one sangria. They have a fully stocked bar at every sit-down and dine restaurant.
But they're still not doing quick-serve beers, right?
No.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So, hey, man, we got to take the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's going to be legal one day, but for now, baby
It's like
steps.
medical marijuana
Bingo.
within, Magic Kingdom.
So
one step closer to having a Bud Light while I'm watching the parade.
There you go.
This is a huge deal because a lot of alcoholic parents have always kind of shied away from Magic Kingdom because of that fact.
Yep,
right?
thank God. They'll be hiring me more and more. I'm so excited.
But the lines are always so bad. Like to me, it's quick stop or nothing. Because I don't get the luxury of going in and doing the sit-down dinner very often,
So what you don't know, and they're okay with this because it's a turn and burn scenario.
Yeah.
If you book a reservation at like Liberty Tree Tavern and you walk in there with your 3 friends and you sit down at a table for 4 and you just tell the lady, we need 4 Sam Adams in the check, they go, not a problem. They run, they grab them for you, they get you your beers, they bring you your check, you pay, and you leave.
So that's a way around.
That's the word, yes,
Okay.
sir. It's a very creative workaround, but it works.
Although to even sit down at most sit-down restaurants in the Magic Kingdom, there's a huge wait. And
I have standing reservations 60 days out because I figure I'm going to be in the park that day. Because you can always cancel them up to the day before.
Yeah.
So I usually make a standing reservation just in case I need
Again, that causes way more problems, like making a reservation mandatory, but not holding you to it.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's just making a reservation and just like, if I go, I go.
Yeah.
If I don't, but
you're
screws
making
up
a virtual mess of the cloud. Like literally.
Well, then it's like half the people aren't showing up, so all these reservations are for nobody. And I feel like it's screwing up the system.
It is.
You should be, if you don't show up, you should be penalized in some way.
$10 a head.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why those reservations that's why it's not happening anymore. If you don't show up for your reservation, they whack you for $10 a head for every reservation you made. And then when you leave and they put you in the system,
Sam's
and
making a face
I
like
don't know.
you're lying
I've
to us.
never been charged for that.
Ixnay on there. And what happens
are you giving us false information again,
Wait
Joey?
a minute.
No.
And then you're telling Sam to help you lie?
No, because
get the Reddit page going.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, wait, like Zach from Ohio?
Technically, you're billed $10 a person. Now, it is occasional that Disney will overlook it, and maybe something slips through the cracks.
Ah.
Take 2. And maybe 1 out of every 10 people is billed and the other 9 aren't. But technically, that's the
okay.
rule.
I like that. All right, since we only have 3 minutes, let's get to your parlay.
Yeah,
because
So here's the deal, man. We don't
Yeah.
got enough juice on this. Why don't you and I actually bet on something?
I saw you wrote me this long, convoluted email.
I knew you weren't
I'll
gonna read
bet
it.
on anything. I was just, if you give me a
He
good
said,
number.
I knew you weren't going to read it.
I just think that
That's a long bet. I was like, he'll tell me.
Is
in
that
person.
what you do when the email's long? You
Yeah, yeah,
vocalize,
yeah.
you go long,
I'm
long,
scanning
long,
through
long.
to see if there's anything important. I'm like, is there ramblings of a crazy person?
But what I do is I usually put little things in the end that say, like, if you read this, the code word is Steve. If you say Steve during the show, I'm actually going to give you $20. I just assume you didn't see it.
Steve.
Yeah, I got to find it. I just knew you wouldn't read it, so I was like, I could literally put my manifesto in there. You wouldn't know. So what I'm thinking is, but money's no good to either of us, man. Money's no good.
Yeah, you guys
put
are
some-
rich.
We're rich. Let's put some real juice on this.
Oh, yeah, you guys should bet your own. Bet a gay sex act. How's it going to
Let's
go
do
that far?
I mean, I'm still good for money.
I'm thinking like if I win the bet, you can't shave your mustache until next month when I come back.
Oh, mustache bet? What are you going to bet in? I like a good... Okay, he got me.
Let 90s radio. What do you think?
I like a good mustache bet, and you also know that he loves 90s radio. And you look freshly shaven.
Well, I got to hear the bet first, or what are you even thinking to determine whether...
I want to bet on my home team, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. They are undefeated this year. As far as the preseason goes, they are 3-0.
It's dad joke in your heart.
Undefeated, bro.
Okay, that's
against
fair.
the Cincinnati Bengals, they're giving the Steelers plus 6.5. I want the Steelers at 6.5. What do you want? You can't shave your mustache for a month, but what do you want?
The problem is I like the Steelers at 6.5.
Oh, really?
Well, that's yeah. Because you're trying to scam me with the. I mean that. Steelers.
Why don't we take it down a little bit? What if you only give it to me at plus 4.5? 2 field goals. Hint,
I think you got him. Look, he's blinking.
Uh-huh.
He's blinking like he's lubricating his eyes.
I'll give you Steelers plus 3.
You got to have a half in there because a tie, nothing happens.
Okay, I'll give you Steelers plus 3.5.
Okay.
I'll take Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
But I'm not doing the stupid mustache.
What do you want to do, boss? What do you want to do?
Well, you got to give me some time to think about it. 'Cause I got to think of the.
It's 1 month.
Yeah,
It's a mustache. You don't even grow a mustache. Like it's like you will have nothing in a month. It'll be like you're clean shaven.
By the end of the month, though, it looks horrible.
It'll look like Grizzly Adams.
It looks
Will
so
it?
stupid.
I don't think it'll grow that
that's part of the
fast.
bet. But you're already assuming you lose, which means I've already won. So come on, what do you think? I mean, if you want to be generic, we'll throw $10 on it, and then next month we'll get more.
$10? That's worse than the mustache.
Yeah, it makes it mad.
Insulted me.
So where am I? Where am I between 10 and mustache? Where am I between 10 and mustache?
Okay, I'll do mustache for 1 month.
right.
But you then, if you lose, you have to take me and my sons to the Star Wars, wherever the hell it is.
Well, the hotel's going to set me back
Galaxy's Edge?
7,500, so no.
No.
He wants to go to Galaxy's Edge.
Go to Galaxy's Edge, and then you show me around, and you work your magic with getting us tickets. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm paying for it.
Now I hope I lose. I'm looking forward to doing that.
Okay, well, yeah,
No, I feel bad. I would have done that for you.
Good.
Okay, yeah, man.
We'd have done that anyway. I
You're
think.
either going to get a gorgeous mustache or you're going to be a hero to your kids. That's a win-win for me.
All right.
Yeah. And I get the mustache. That's a win-win for me.
So I got
And I don't have to go to
Cincinnati.
stupid Star Wars stuff.
I get Steelers at plus 3.5.
Yeah, good luck with old Mitchell Trubisky.
How's he doing? How's he looking?
We're undefeated is all I know, man.
Yeah,
3-0.
How's he
You
looking?
look like he always looked.
Yeah, he looked pretty bad. I'm a little bit scared.
Trubisky-ish.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I carve out a day because it's looking like I'm taking you and your boys to Galaxy.
Mike Tomlin never goes below 50%.
This might be his last year.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. All right, Joey. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks
How
so much.
can people contact you if they want to go on these park tours with you?
I appreciate it. I'm at the Joey Mazant on all social media platforms. Everything's G-rated and kid-friendly. Because of it, I keep my accounts private. Please reach out, send me a message. You're all welcome to follow.
Oh, that's great.
All right, we'll be right back.